It's like a abusive crackhead mother who
Trey,
abandoned you.
let me mute y'all niggas. All right, and like that, we're back with another Unpack presented to you by the To Be Fair Show and
the G Shit Podcast.
It doesn't matter how you feel.
Again, y'all see the title. It's gonna be another great one, another good one. Is it on code? We might explore the code a little bit. But in lieu of a lot of recent conversations, there's been the Tracee Ellis Ross conversation. I don't really know who she sat down with. Kevin Gates, he has sparked a courtside conversation as well with Savannah James, and you know how black wives should look at their man, and if it's comparable to white women, I don't know. It could be anything, but before we get into all that, again, y'all know the panel. We missing our brother from another mother in the motherland. What was that you said before the show started, Trey?
Ain't my mother in my motherland at all. If it's a mother, it's like a mother who abandons you and you go on to be great, and they want you to come. They come around later, and you're supposed to take care of them, like that type of mess. I ain't my mother.
He's in the land.
Yeah, like a crackhead mother who in rehab until you grow up, and now you're supposed to take care of it. That's the type of mother.
That's how you look at Africa?
I mean, bro, they sold us, dog. I don't understand how we're not like coming to terms with the fact, like our relationship with Africa. No, bro, that's another thing that I don't understand why it's difficult to, but respectfully, I understand like it's difficult to get some of us were in Africa, some of us were in America. We were seafaring people. The Moorish people were in Africa, they were in America, they were in Russia, they were in Europe. So this whole thing, like we can have people that came over from Africa. We can also have people that came over from Europe. We can also have people that were here at once. There was never a time where all of black people were confined to Africa. Not in least like the sense in like maybe in like prehistoric times, like since biblical times, black people have been global, bro. Like, so do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because for real, I would like to get Johnny, this because every time I say that we have people from Africa, it's like a gotcha trying to say, oh, well, I thought you were from here. But so I just want to like be like crystal clear. We had some people that were in America. We had some of us that are from Africa too, and we're a mixture of those people, like in America. That was part of the ethnogenesis. So do you see how it's not like a contradiction to say that some of us came from Africa, were sold by African like natives to America, and then some of us were already here at the same time? I mean, you see, I mean, like for real. I don't know if y'all trolling or being serious. I don't.
Nobody's.
because y'all. When I said that some of us sold us, you weren't gonna say I thought that, and then you thought that what? I mean, just respectfully, like John, like what was the confusion?
Yo, I don't know.
They coming for Johnny next.
You talking to me?
I think you coming for Johnny. This is Johnny Smoke.
Yeah, 1v1, dog.
I mean, like I say, I know where we from. Like I said, I thought we was from over here. You say that a lot. And so it was just a joke, but I mean, I get it.
I mean, but to be fair,
I know
I get to
smoke from the
finish.
motherland, so it feels like you was just triggered because I said something about Africa, bro. So, I mean, that's all. I'm just
Oh yeah, like you're not the only one, John. It's just like that's why it's kind of like the point's kind of belabored. It's not just you, but like when we point out that some of us came from Africa and some of us were also native here, people are like, "Well, it's got to be one or the other," but it doesn't. It's that's not how it works. Like there were people in both places. The ones of us that came from Africa were sold by the tribes in Africa. You get what I'm saying?
bro, I understand the history, bro. You ain't gotta. I thought we could get on
Oh,
to the intro.
Does anybody else want to have commentary to that? Yeah, ain't nothing that I care to engage in. All right. So, with that said, quick housekeeping, quick announcement. Shout out to the chat. We got a few of y'all in there right now. We're starting something new with the Unpack group with the show. Y'all often hear us refer to the chat, the Unpack chat that happens pretty much weekly after the show, from sharing memes to having in-depth 500 comment back and forths with each other, and debating a lot of these same topics. A lot of the topics come from out this chat. We're gonna open up the chat to the audience. If you look into the description,
parts of the chat.
oh, parts.
We're not opening up that whole thing.
All right. So nonetheless, we are launching the Unpack chat. This will be a Discord server. If you look in the description, I just posted it in there. I'm gonna post it in the chat as well right now. I know we got some dinosaurs in here, so you probably will have to download the Discord app, or if you're on a computer, make an account. And this is where we're going to have our weekly conversations at. We'll love for y'all to we'd love for y'all to engage with us. With that said, there has been some fun, interesting news that has been going around. I don't know, fellas. I'll let y'all choose where we start at this week with a couple of these icebreakers. We can go Yay, or we can go Shannon Sharpe to start. Which way y'all want to go? We'll hit pause. We'll hit both of them. But
oh man, so many other ways you could have said
hey,
that.
yo, we got Savannah in them too.
Oh yeah, we'll lead that to go into the actual full conversation for the day. But nonetheless, what do y'all want to start at?
Let's go Shannon Sharpe for them.
Shannon Sharpe.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll start off with a couple memes. I do have a couple memes that are relevant. We do have one of the homies that was a part of one of the shows. Maybe it was the reaction that we did. He did some commentary on it. But we'll start off with, I'm guessing this is, according to Shade Room, some leaked, and maybe it just kind of went away. Nonetheless, I'll start here, and we can start the conversation here and kind of branch off through a couple memes. But nonetheless, long story less long. Shannon Sharpe is currently now being, some people call him the shakedown, but above anything, he's inside the public eye over a filed lawsuit where he is being accused of some, not just lewd behavior, but I guess sexual misconduct with a then 19-year-old. I think that they're looking for a $50 million settlement. They have, I guess according to Shannon Sharpe's lawyer, they attempted at a $10 million settlement. But in the past few days, there has been leaked chats. There has been a lot of just interesting parts of the conversation that has came out. So I guess we could start with just some initial thoughts, fellas.
I mean, I think it's a money grab. yeah, I mean, like I say, I don't know all the ins and outs, but it seemed like a money grab, and yeah, I hope all the facts come out, and my man, I'm with my man Shannon until all the facts come out.
Okay.
Yeah, we've seen this
Johnny
story
standing
so
with
many
him.
times, man. Yeah, I'm
Say it
with you
again.
on that, John. I'm saying we've seen this story so many times before, and it seems like Tony Busby is a, a repeated character. And it seems like anytime you see him, it's some BS. Like whether it's Deshaun Watson, and then like how some of the massage therapists claim to be like victimized by him, yet they kept rebooking him and bragging to the family about him. He was looking
Oh,
for more
Busby was a part of
victims.
that too. I know he was a part
Yeah,
of the
he was
Jay-Z John.
Yeah, he was the main one, and then Jay-Z, you're right, and then Diddy as well. So it seems like his niche is going after freaky rich black men, and it's for the bag.
Okay. Before we get to G, we can start with a little bit of commentary from our guy Shannon.
I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys. Thanks.
I believe this is possibly the audio from whatever he's talking about.
I say you're just gonna like get mad at, and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
what? What does that even mean?
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be a to me now, so
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
I don't know that mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm gonna choke the shit out of you when I see you. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, it seemed like that's pretty much the end of it. G, I'll toss it to you.
Did we see the text messages too?
I was trying to find them. I can talk a little bit about the text messages. I didn't know if you wanted to throw your first initial.
All right, so yeah, let me get initial take first. But then
okay. All right, as you give the take, I'm gonna let you read the text messages, but yeah.
So initial take, bro, like it definitely was like 50 million for what now? Like I just didn't realize that was the cost of like, crossing the line. Not to say if you cross the line, even I'm like, even if what's being alleged is true, I'm like, why is it worth 50 million is my question. I just don't understand like where this 50 million came from based off of what I saw in the lawsuit. Now, the young lady admitted to having a consensual something over a 2-year span with Shannon Sharpe. But then when you read the lawsuit, it starts off documenting how she knew something was off from day one, which then led to a 2-year consensual situation with Shannon Sharpe. Then, as you start looking at more stuff, like I said, what she's alleging sounds a certain way, but then when you read the text messages, when she say $25K for each cheat, you feel what I'm saying? That kind of lets me know this is pay to play. You definitely are getting paid for your time and effort. Yeah. So in my eyes, this was a fair compensation and trade of services, and you probably got mad that the checks ran out. Because the other part of this too was just being realistic. Like Shannon Sharpe, this nigga Shannon Sharpe, I highly doubt his first number out the gate for secrecy is 10 mil. That's a lot of fucking money. Like he ain't $100 million nigga like that. Like he ain't like.
Well, I don't know. I think that a piece of this deals with, he was just talking about negotiating, I think like $100 million, whatever contract.
Yep.
I don't know if that was going to be podcast or if that was going to be specifically with ESPN or something like that. But he had recently been in the news about pushing to get, his $100 million check.
I can understand that, but even then, right? Like just looking at his playing career, what he does on YouTube, for me to say I got 10 million cash for you to be quiet, I got to be sitting on a lot of bread for that to be where I'm starting at, in my opinion. So I think.
Oh no, I think
too. Like, I don't think he came out the gate with saying I got 10 million for you to be quiet. I think if he did offer something, it was much lower than that.
I thought his lawyer said that they attempted a $10 million settlement.
The girl's lawyer is alleging they did that.
Oh no, I think that's Shannon Sharpe's lawyer.
Yeah, I thought Shannon's
Shannon's lawyer is the one that said that part. Both of the lawyers been talking.
Hold up. So Shannon's lawyer admitted he offered 10 million
on the settlement side. Yes.
Before the lawsuit was filed.
Yes.
And I got another thing here, like,
and that's kind of like one of the more interesting parts of it is that he did attempt the 10 million settlement piece.
So for sure the lawyer confirmed that, because I just heard.
Yeah, I can go to like the small little club
twice, and it seemed like it was his lawyer. But here's another thing that goes to that, and like here's like the nasty work, right? And this is like bigger than like this case, but like when it comes to like if it's sexual assault and if he did like some of the stuff that she's alleging, like the money grab should be the least of people's concerns, or at least of her concerns. Like they should be trying to put that man in jail, and I think it should be like a policy, a law, whatever you want, that like you got to criminally prosecute the man first, and he got to be found guilty criminally before you go after the bag, because to me it's been so many like lies and stuff like that if like he did this, the best way to protect like other women in society is to put him in jail for his crimes, and like taking the money only like benefits you and it don't really protect society. So I think that's something where like we have to look at it like why do you want 50 million and why isn't he in jail if like what he did is worth $50 million? Like if it's that bad.
Because it's a shakedown. You know that Tony Busby is there. But I think that, in my opinion, the part that becomes interesting is why would Shannon and them A, offer the 10 million, and B, come out and say that they offered 10 million of a settlement. Like it's just like it's like an interesting omission.
I think it's a bad strategy. I think the 10 million. I think depending on what you did, depending on how much you value your privacy, depending I can't, and depending on how much you got, I can understand like just being like, all right, shorty, I don't really want to do this, but let's just keep this under wraps. Like I can understand at least trying to pay it, even if you didn't do it. I don't think that's necessarily like an indication that you did something or indication of guilt. I think that's just trying to. It might just be for your privacy and trying to make your name, protect your name. But I think admitting it though is bad strategy though, because it is. I don't think that's something that the lawyer should be out there telling.
I'd at least waited till like some version of discovery or something like that.
I wouldn't just come out like Front Street and just admit it, but I think that's just bad strategy. But I can understand why you could do it. I don't think that like necessarily implicates you in anything. I've been hearing a lot of people say that. I think that's just business. I think that's just, you're looking at risk, you're looking at, it logistically, and sometimes just paying it makes a lot more sense for the brand.
Gotcha. So I guess that I feel like everybody here has the common sentiment that likely he wasn't doing the things that he's accused of. Is that a fair assessment that this is likely a quote unquote a shakedown?
It's clearly a shakedown.
Yeah, I mean, like,
And there's more parts of the conversation. I just want to make sure that see if we are in agreement to this part.
I don't think
down.
he's doing any. I don't think he did. I don't think he did anything illegal.
Right. All right. So now,
Yeah, that's my thing too. Like how you say a nigga start giving you anal and you ain't want it, but did you get up? Did you say no? Like, were you like, because she's not filing great
Or did you come
charges,
back?
right? Like, she's doing sexual assault. So it's like my thing is like,
That's not
like,
that's
after a nigga finish, don't tell me you ain't want to do it. you supposed to let a nigga know before I get done. You know what I'm saying? Like, you not. You know what I'm saying?
But
like,
they also kind of like within the text messages, they was clearly into a lot of like the whole little role playing BDSM, like, you know,
domination,
like fake rape shit. Like they was into like all of that. So to me, like, it was clear how they like.
I didn't
whenever
read
she understood what she could do. She used that as leverage. But go ahead, Johnny.
I didn't read the text message, but they so they was into like that, like
role playing and like they, and I guess this then, in my opinion, this is where it leads to my only assumption that I can make with him offering the 10 million, given like everything that's already out in the public now and what his public image was previous to that. To me, it seemed like that was him trying to sweep it under the rug to where a lot of the sexual assault but image damaging parts can come out. And this is where we get into on code, off code. So there was a lot of race play in this in the Texas. There was a lot of, I think they was doing the slave play. Like they was doing like a lot of interesting. I'll see if I can find the exact.
About slaves, that's hilarious.
Yeah, that's a wild accusation.
I've seen the headlines call it like they was doing slave play, but
you know she wanted that big black baby up in her.
Yeah.
That's not slave play though. But I did.
That's a wild thing to say to a brother though, or is that what they say to you? Or
but she also told him something along the lines of like, "You're gonna be stuck with it" or some shit like that. I don't know. It was like some wild text message conversation of like.
You think that's slave play?
No, I can
baby in her.
I can look up like the exact quote of whatever they're saying is the slave.
Hold on, let me ask Johnny instead of Trey, so it's not like bias. So Johnny, would you be cool if a white woman texts you that?
No, I'm not into like.
I'm talking about your dress. not a random one either. I'm talking about a joint you've been kicking it with. You know what I'm saying? And she like.
Let me see if I can find these leaked messages.
She like Johnny E.
Nah. I ain't into like the race. Not like I ain't really that freaky as like I'm not really a role player. Like I just like that's just some next level stuff to me anyway.
Who would have? I'm sure DJ Academic
like role playing the whole day, text messaging and stuff. Like I got shit to do.
Yeah, I just think like when I hear like race play, there's a play called Slave Play, and it was about a white dude and these black women, and then people were actually going to see it, and it basically played out the dynamics on the plantation where they were like doing all the stuff, like kind of getting off on that stuff. And there's also all kind of books that talk about this. So to put Shannon Sharpe in that category, I think is a bit extreme.
Of what? What do you mean, like with race play? Well, this is clearly race play. Are you saying it's not?
I'm saying there's a play where it's based on the plantation with like the slave master, and
that's not what people mean when they say
they get off by that.
But that's not what people mean when they say race play. Like generally speaking, it's about like sexual dynamics that emphasize race. It's not about like a specific one play that somebody put together.
So I got you. So I guess you can't mention the differences between a race and while you're having a interaction with a person.
Oh, this man is
without.
So Trey, let me ask you. I asked Johnny. Let me ask you, Trey. If you were.
Oh man, let me
find some white woman.
But
Would you be
gotta
cool
send us
if
these,
she texted you, "Hey Trey, I want your big black baby in me"? Would you be cool with that rhetoric?
What if she said a BB something else?
That's not what she said.
I'm asking you this question, and then we can go to the next question.
I mean, look, if I was a stud athlete like Shannon Sharpe or something like
no,
that.
I'm saying if you was Trey. I'm talking about you.
So now you're putting the word like buck into it. I mean,
but
you saying if I was the big buck on the plantation?
I'm saying just you regular right now. Just
I don't think that. I don't think that.
Like,
I'm about
get you going. You ready to like leave?
I'm 5'11" and a half, like, you know, 210. I mean 200. So I don't think that comment would really make sense to me. I'm not like that wouldn't make no sense.
Big black baby. What is that? Huh?
I mean, I'm not that big, so that would make sense. Shannon Sharpe's a big one.
She's not saying like put your whole body in her. What are you talking about right now?
I think she's kind of implying that.
In other words, it's okay. It's okay. Like you see nothing wrong with it. In other words,
Trey, what you implying is she's fetishizing the fact that he's big and black.
And she probably looks forward to birthing studs like him, and I think she's attracted to that. I mean, that's why they mess with these athletes.
But how is that not race play if she's fetishizing the fact that he's big and black?
What if it was a white guy and it was a Latina woman and she said, "Put this big white baby in me"?
She would not call it. She'd be big baby. She would not say big white baby.
I don't understand. I think this is being a little bit kind of sensitive, bro. I don't know if a big black baby is like. She could have been like,
like you see nothing wrong with it. Look, everybody don't care. Everybody see things differently.
Yeah, he said, "I want you to put a big black baby in me." Yeah, that was
a stereotype.
I want you to put a big black baby in me. Wow.
I just want you to put a baby in me, but saying big and black automatically.
Then it says you better crave it because you're gonna be stuck with it for life after you put a big black baby in me. It's like.
That sounds like
wow.
That's a trope too.
Hey, Trey, like whatever gets them going.
I don't know. I think Shannon Sharpe is a big black guy, so I think it makes more sense,
right?
Like if she told you, John, she was like, she said she
little black
she
baby
wanted you to put. She said she wanted, yeah. If she said she wanted John to put a big black baby in her, that would be
worse
weird.
Or something.
That would be worse because it's like, John, you know what I'm saying? You ain't the biggest dude. I don't think that would just be like, oh, you just said that because I'm black. It ain't because I'm big. You just think black is associated with big.
But you're saying that she's fetishizing him being big and black already, and that's why she was saying.
But she's not.
And she wouldn't be fetishizing me being big. She'd be fetishizing me being black.
So what if what if it was a certain hair color or a certain? Man, I don't know, man. I think there's way more offensive things she could have said, bro.
Bro, we can't so this isn't off code for you. All right, got you.
I wouldn't say it's not off code, but it's not an extreme violation. I mean, she said it's a big black baby. He's a big black guy. It's not. If she would have said your big ignorant baby or your big watermelon eating baby or your big chicken eating baby or something like that, I'd be like, oh,
she had to go that far with it.
That's too far. But big black, he a big black tight end. Is that racist? The baby's probably gonna be big. Usually big dudes.
We didn't say it was racist. We said it was race play. Like it was clearly race play. They play it like we didn't say it was racist or not.
So you're not allowed to flirt with each other about your racial differences. Let's if you call a Hispanic woman Mama C.
That would be race play though. If you're playing on specifically the racial aspect in a fetish.
Yeah, you fetishize like if that's your fetish, like some niggas fetish is all, you know.
Trey, what you be letting these
over that, man?
What you be letting these women call you, bro?
They don't. I don't go for none of that.
I know they don't call you.
You don't play with the race play shit.
They can't call you nigga, but they refer to you as a big black man.
You said you 5'11" and a half, 200 pounds.
Medium.
That's pretty big.
What if she said big light skinned baby?
All right, hold on. I mean, I've heard like white women that I've rocked with in the past say that they like black men, but is that race play?
Can be.
Yeah. Why does she like black men?
She said she didn't like white dudes.
Why?
Is that race play?
It could be.
She's had
Yeah, the big part would be why.
She's had some traumatic experiences in the
Like
past.
if she likes black dudes but can't take them back to the house, that's kind of a fetish.
I mean, she takes them to the house, so she has in the past. I
But
wouldn't advise
a lot of
that.
times
But,
women
you know,
like that a black man ain't necessarily accepted at the family, but they when they get away from the family, when they ain't at mom and daddy, they come and it's adventurous. It's like it's the unknown, and that's why they like it. But it's not like it ain't like they really fuck with it. It's just like, ooh, let's go see what they got over there.
man, look, I'm not defending this shit. And I know it sounds weird, but I'm just trying to figure out where we draw the line. If you're saying that in a interracial dynamic, if you're not,
I draw the line by not fucking with them personally.
Yeah, it's kind of easy for me.
I can't even really like personally because I definitely can't be like, you know what I'm saying.
Clearly, I think that's why you're not really seeing any nuance there, because you're just like, no. And
I don't want nobody white referring to me as big black anything in any context. Period.
You're gonna be stuck with it.
What if they're referring to something else? Is that race play too?
Period. Don't refer to me big black anything.
Yeah, imagine if you just have to be like, yeah, put that BBC in me. We on a weird spot in this podcast. So.
Yeah.
But, matter of fact, let me play 1430 podcast. He had some commentary, and I guess it'll open the door for us to go pause a little bit further.
Especially with somebody like Tony Busby on the case, I'm questioning it. But what I will say, that even if you are found innocent with everything, you have a lot to answer for, bro. First and foremost, what is a 60-year-old man doing with a 19-year-old? You literally have 4 decades on her. Y'all nowhere near the same demographic. What do y'all have to talk about? And 2, slave play. Weird, bro. You already talk like a slave. You don't even play a slave game. The same Monique tried to tell you, get off them young girls, find somebody your own age. Didn't listen, now you getting caught up. And even if the serious allegations come out to be no more than allegations, there is something seriously wrong going on. And you got to answer for that.
All right, so again, we could put the asterisk if he said slave play. If we just reduce it to a misdemeanor of race play,
say he talked like a slave.
Yeah.
So he did introduce another piece, in which we'll also touch on this same concept when we get into the Tracee Ellis Ross conversation. But there is the concept of Shannon Sharpe's about 60. When he was talking to this girl, she was 19. Is this, red pill gone wrong? They tell you get them as young as you can. They're moldable. But there's also the space where if they're with you at that point in time, at that age, it's likely a shakedown, as we're seeing, or some version of what they're trying to get out of you. And eventually, as they get older, they're going to find a way to exploit it. It happens over and over and over and over and over. But yeah, again, introducing this concept into the conversation. What is your thoughts?
I think, and this the part I don't like, because I don't think he did nothing illegal. And I think that's what
and that's why we cleared that part first. We don't think he did anything illegal. But is this like bad judgment?
Both people did something illegal.
I mean,
they did?
That's why they can't really be honest. But I'll let Johnny finish.
Oh, okay. I don't want to go into. I'll let dude. But
I'm gonna let G. I'm interested to hear this take.
I want to hear that one too. But my thing is, like, as long as he didn't do anything like illegal, who am I to judge? Would I do it? No. But I think that's the problem, and we'll get to the Tracee Ellis thing later. But like when she does it,
but they coming for it too though. Like this is the same thing I said last week. If we gonna drag on who is the woman, then do we still apply that here, or do we give them both grace?
I'm saying
that's the only thing that I would say.
Are they dragging on Tracee? Because I haven't seen people dragging outside of just a small circle.
I've seen the exact same conversation. I've seen multiple podcasts was like, how young is she talking about?
But then if the culture is shifted, but typically, traditionally, women don't get dragged for that as much as men. And now, like I said, I
What
haven't
about the girl who was Jalen Green with? I forget. Is that Dre and Michelle? Like that was a
Yeah.
big thing. What about when what's
Hey,
the
She ain't 50 though.
you talking over the
I know,
last
but
5
it's
years.
about like a no, yeah. Jalen Green and her son was the same age. That was like
that
the
was
winning
a question
person.
I was gonna ask. Like, I think
What
Shannon
about
Sharpe
Bernice
got
Burgos?
daughters.
They was dragging on whatchamacallit for being with her.
All of this is recent, but traditionally, women have gotten away with it versus men have been.
Do women
demonized.
exercise this at any level of a
But you
frequency?
also there's also a different thing with Dre though, because Dre is being like she's getting his money. Like she's not giving him money. She's tricking him into, you know what I'm saying? Like she's clearly
Right.
exploiting him.
It sounds like
Shannon
this shorty is tricking,
Ross is like,
but Shannon Sharpe is getting tricked out of 10 million at least
but
right
you
now.
see, but the older in these different scenarios, the older person, Drea, is
The man is getting
person.
tricked out the money on both sides.
Right, exactly.
And these ones, yeah. But I mean, again, it's the age dynamic. Are we just talking about exploitation? Because then again, a lot of times the older guy has the woman that he's using his money to exploit as well. I mean, like I said, if we're using that as the dynamic, that's cool. Or are we just talking about the age part?
But it's mutually beneficial for men that are older than versus men, especially in the
Wow.
But my thing is like if you I don't have daughters, but I would imagine if I had a daughter, I wouldn't want to date a young lady younger than my daughter. Like, I just would imagine that'd be like too disconnected for me personally. Like, do you disagree with that?
I don't necessarily disagree with that. No.
So like that's just how I'm looking at it. This nigga got 2 daughters that I'm aware of that are definitely beyond like college age. So she not even 22. She fresh out of high school, my nigga. When you start talking 19, you not even like you really not even off the porch. You can't even go get me no whiskey, nothing. Like you literally a baby. I got a sign for you everywhere. So like, you know, that to me I think is a little, but at the same time, I understand. This is why I say both of them doing illegal shit, because it's illegal for her to sell the pussy and it's illegal for him to buy it. And at the end of the day, that's what they were doing. And that's what all this is. And then something got twisted with the money. And now she's trying to like really squeeze because maybe he cut her off. Maybe he was like, I'm not paying 25 per cheek no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm on to some better cheeks. Them is only worth $5,000 now, maybe.
So you saying that this is more so when tricking goes wrong? For
sure. 100%. Because a guy like Shannon Sharpe, why else would I be with that 19-year-old? It ain't to get to know her. It's to get the pussy.
But why don't they have women Shannon Sharpe's age at strip clubs? Like working there.
They sometimes do. But wait, what's your point now? You saying why? Look, I get that older, like I get why Shannon Sharpe would want a quote unquote younger woman, but younger for him could still be 28.
35.
35
was why don't they have 35-year-olds in strip? Why don't they have 35 and 28?
I'm not even 40.
Right,
and the thought of a 19-year-old is disgusting.
I agree. But Trey,
also strip clubs though, right?
But Trey,
why don't they have these?
But if you're going for females that look like they should be in a strip club, you're going to fuck around and get a $10 million suit.
No, but it's not
like that. Like it's either like they only want you for your money if you're that old. So why is she able to shake them down? No, I'm saying the answer on both sides is the exact same thing, though.
The only reason I use a strip club as an example is because not because of the character of the women in the strip club, but because of their attractiveness and their age range. So if you think that Shannon Sharpe, who's accomplished, everything's accomplished, he should be relegated to women who are not the most attractive, then I think that's not up to us.
But
nobody's acknowledging that this age range is the most attractive, then of course a person of means like Shannon Sharpe would be attracted to that group.
Well, I personally don't think that 19-year-olds are in the age range of the most attractive person.
Then why are they at strip clubs so much? Apparently that's
I don't know that 19-year-olds are at strip clubs that much.
Some niggas do like that type of young looking build. Like I ain't gonna like look, some niggas like that young, like innocent.
You said some, like, bro. I think most niggas.
No, all right, stop. So hold on. If we're talking strip clubs, 19-year-olds aren't the ones that's making the most money at strip clubs.
Yeah,
it's big. It's big, thick strippers.
It depends on what strip club you're talking about,
bro. Like where strip club culture actually exists. where all the money is being thrown at. It's not at the cabarets. It's not at none of them shits. The women that like you can look on Instagram and see who has the strippers with the most followers. You can go to any rapper's IG right now. You can go wherever. Like it's going to be probably maybe a 25, 28-year-old, maybe in a low end like 22 that's actually developed a little bit more. Probably got the little Brazilian shit. If not, she's naturally thick. Like that's the person that's typically the one. It's not 19-year-old Ariana Grande built women.
And look, I don't know what this young girl look like either. I don't know what the Jane Doe look like. She might be thick as fuck. I don't know.
She's not.
From what I saw, she had a little bit of cheek. She wasn't like she wasn't Bernice, but she wasn't like Ariana either. She wasn't Ariana.
I mean, but like let's not act like men only mess with girls that are like the best of the best. Sometimes dudes
but if you paying, but Trey, if you're paying, you are paying for quality. Like I'm not just going
you
like.
Think that's the only woman he was paying for? She might.
No,
have been lower
I don't.
Right,
that's what I'm saying from the jump.
But you don't think that's where the issue is at? So again, if you are somebody that is out of the range of a woman that's naturally going to be attracted to you, and so you're paying to play, and hey, if you're attracted to these really young women, that's your attraction. But you have to understand that what comes with that, if you're paying to play and they only want you because of what you monetarily bring, you're way more susceptible to getting exploited financially.
Yeah,
that comes with
no paperwork.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree with that.
So it's to me, that's why I'm saying like it's an even trade. So if you have an affinity for these young women and women that's not 30, not 40, not 50, if you fucking with 20-year-olds, likely you're gonna find your way into it.
You better have that Derek Jeter paperwork ready, because you're not getting one dime until you sign that dotted line.
Yeah, they still gonna find a way to
right here.
But hear me out. I
don't know the niggas that be go ahead.
Niggas be playing.
Disagreeing. I think anytime you're paying a woman, anytime you're leading with your wallet, no matter what age the woman is, you're in trouble.
But when you're a celebrity, you always lead with wallet or fame or status. Like entertainers is different than regular people. Yeah, because like at this point, Shannon Sharpe is a household name. Like he's known for being a character. The like post Cat Williams interview, he's out of here. So like,
so you don't think he can get none for free?
No, what I'm saying is no,
he definitely can't. But like that 19-year-old, he's got to pay for it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I think
even the flyest niggas pay for pussy, bro. When you got money, the flyest niggas are paying for pussy.
But if you paying for pussy, I guarantee the pussy you paying for is given to somebody for free.
Yeah, sure, but
somebody that they're attracted to.
Exactly, but that don't mean you're not gonna pay.
Like, if you're a nigga that's paying for it, it's because you're not attractive to him. If you almost 60. You're probably not going to be on a 19-year-old's radar, if we're being honest.
I don't know, man. He's in the gym a lot.
All right, we in fantasy land then.
I mean, I feel you. I think it depends on the dude mouthpiece. Like the dude mouthpiece, if he's fit or not. I think a fit dude with a good mouthpiece
in the NFL.
But I think the general point stands though. 19 is different than 28. Like 19 is you just finished 12th grade.
19 on the young side. That's playing.
You just finished 12th grade.
I'll say that.
If you 55 talking to it, I just don't see why you'd be interested in a 19-year-old. To me, that's just bad judgment in my opinion.
19, you might have been at prom last year.
You can't rent a car.
You probably was at prom. Yeah. You should have been at prom.
Drinking punch.
I'll meet in the middle.
Don't have a late birthday. You fuck around and be 19 still in high school.
Yeah, 19 too young for 60. I'll concede there, but this whole like notion that men his age should be messing with women that are his age.
Nobody said that. Nobody said that.
Okay,
nobody said that.
Sure.
Nobody said that. Nobody said he should be with a 60-year-old. I'm saying
no. Get you a solid little 40-year-old.
He can get a young 30-year-old.
I think that's too old. Yeah,
I think 30 young 30-year-old.
I think as soon as you go to the 20s, she about to exploit you. That's just my opinion.
Shannon Sharpe 56 too. He ain't 60. I gotta stop.
Okay, he close enough. He almost there.
I gotta stop.
Okay, well then she close enough. She close enough for 26. Then if it's 6 years, ain't shit, huh?
If that's how you feel. I said, I think that if you have that gap of that level, I think if you 50 mid 50s up,
but I get it though, because he just
19 to
paying for the
25
pussy.
is not it. Yeah.
He ain't paying to spend time with her. He just paying her for pussy. So it's
He
like
basically paying her to leave after the
he's paying. Like that's what I'm saying. Like this is what it was. It was a paid arrangement.
But no, I guess it. But the other one kind of leads to a different thought though. It seemed like they was actually in a relationship with the whole choking shit, and like the whole you're manipulated, like the whole like that whole back and forth that I had played. That was the audio, huh?
They had a 2-year consensual thing, but it wasn't a relationship. That's what I'm saying. Like they fuck with each other consistently for 2 years.
But you wouldn't talk about choking a woman in. I don't know. To me, like that's the part.
If I'm paying.
Yeah. See, this is where I think that, like, what I think was he tricking for sure. I don't think that it was like a pay on arrangement thing. And I think that if he was fucking her for more than 2 years, guarantee you some version of feelings came.
That might be true too. Feelings might get into it, but at the end of the day, he's paying for that, so he can talk crazy to it.
That's a good point, John. Good point, John. Probably not on both sides. When you say feelings, she probably caught feelings, but I doubt.
You think she caught feelings?
I think he might have.
She allegedly followed him. She claimed they moved to Las Vegas. He claimed she followed me to Las Vegas. So it's like when you start talking about shit like this, it's like you know.
Yeah, I get. To me, if I'm paying for something to come and leave, there's no way you're gonna catch me on the phone being agitated or mad or aggressive to that person that I pay. That's just me personally.
I didn't hear him aggressive.
I'm saying
the nigga said, "I'm gonna choke you." What are you talking about?
Oh, I thought he was just talking dirty. I didn't know.
Nah, that part wasn't inside the. I could play it again.
I don't think he sounded aggressive personally. Just aggressive words. Those are aggressive words, but I don't think he sounded aggressive. Like
I can play it again.
He said it mad chill. Like if you say this again, I'm gonna choke the shit out of you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna choke this shit out of you, bitch. Like he didn't do all that shit.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. That did make me think he might have did it. The way how calm he was when he said it. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt like the audio came closer.
I don't.
Let me hit the restart.
There you go.
Oh, it's going down.
Oh, it was coming. My bad.
Shit.
Oh damn! I think that they might have deleted it.
Look at Shannon's lawyers doing their thing. I see you.
Get into it. Damn.
Let's go, Shannon.
That's them ESPN lawyers.
Yeah.
Okay. The Jack Johnson era no more, where it's criminalized for black men.
The Jack Johnson era.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he did say it so calmly that it didn't sound like. Because I imagine if you're doing role play, you're gonna be into it. You're gonna be like, I'm a like. I imagine like if you're gonna do it, the way he did it sounded like. And not to say that he did it. It could have just been like, people say a lot of stuff that they don't necessarily do. But that didn't sound like a joke to me or any kind of role playing when I heard it the first time.
What do you think is worse though? Because this time last year he was fighting gay allegations. Now he, fighting OnlyFans allegations. So
they've been
that's
doing
the silver lining.
He doing the Freaky Boy Olympics, bro. He always got allegations. Bro.
He do be having freaky allegations, like
the FBA Freaky Boy allegations.
Oh Lord! Don't do that, bro. Don't do that. Please don't do that.
Like get mad at, and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
What does that even mean?
Nothing yet.
See, I don't need to be around a girl that don't know what that means.
You want to be a dick to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh, no, have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke the out of you when I see you.
Does that sound aggressive to you, Q?
Okay.
That's their word.
That's just like a nigga that's aggravated and annoyed. Like, bitch, I didn't pay you to be quiet. Like,
it's so many other things that was said in it. Like, that lead up.
She said manipulate me.
He was like, oh my God.
Nigga, I'm gonna choke it. Again, I'm gonna choke the shit out you.
That ain't role play.
What does she like that shit? Is it role play then?
Oh man.
That was not wrong. That Uncle serious.
Yeah.
Man, I don't think Unc is out choking out white women.
I think
or
Unc
women,
was
any women
serious
of
in that
matter,
he
bro.
was frustrated, but I don't think he was making a serious threat. Like, does
mean
he have
that-
a history of choking
Here's
women?
my thing is that
Did it,
only
but
thing I was saying was that
They say he do got another lawsuit
motherfuckers-
out with another
do.
woman alleging a lot of the same stuff though too, which is kind of not.
yeah, he probably just a wild freaky boy. But
Yeah.
yeah, I wasn't saying that to say he actually was choking her out inside like a non-sexual way, as much as I was saying that to me that conversation sounds like it's more than just pay to play.
Yeah,
and that's not role play either. That's not.
Yeah, it sounds like there's some version of a relationship, whatever the dynamics of it is.
Well, the pay to plays, the escorts, they be having relationships. It's like a business relationship. It is like a subscription service. Like you keep your
girlfriend.
It's called customer service. Like, yeah, you're gonna build a relationship when you got customers on a subscription, right?
Gotcha. Sound like she got him.
Lock out on
got him. Yeah.
All
All right.
I
So
don't think he was off code though. I don't see that part.
the race play ain't off code. I got you.
I don't know if that's when I think race play, a person mentioning your race in a relationship that opens up a big window because it's the elephant in the room. Like you're different races, you can talk about like if you talk about what the baby's gonna look like, is that race play?
But that's not what it.
Yeah. What? All right. So
move on.
I'm about to say. Speaking of accusations, I guess these aren't allegations. Some of y'all dropped a new song called Cousins, and he hit Twitter. He had the chat going a little crazy, and oh damn, I didn't even see this little Shannon right here. That's hilarious. But,
hey, so we done with the Tracee. We done with the Tracee Ellis Ross part now.
Hilarious.
No, we're going to talk about Tracee Ellis Ross at the end.
Gotcha. Okay,
with
the
two separate conversations, we can talk about.
That ties into the Shannon part too.
Okay, we can bring him back up.
Okay, gotcha.
But it sounded like we didn't hold him accountable for like the age gap. It was just the fact that she was too young.
No,
that's what that sounded like.
Too young. Isn't that holding them accountable, saying that she was too young? Isn't that holding him accountable to say that she was too young? You said we didn't hold him accountable, then you said
it wasn't
young. How are both things true?
Okay, gotcha. Let me. I guess we can kind of flesh this out really quickly. To me, what it sounded like from pretty much everybody was that an age gap is not the issue. It's how far the age gap is, i.e., it being younger than your youngest kid, it being a girl that's fresh out of high school, i.e. a 19-year-old, not specifically the fact that he wanted to date younger girls or girls that was his like 10, 20, even maybe 30 years his younger. It was the fact of exactly where it was at in comparison to where he was at in life, his kids, and her being a 19-year-old,
and how
not specifically an age gap in the sense of like age gap bad. Do you understand?
I think not in this scenario because you can't say we're not holding him accountable because he is accountable for this. I'm gonna say crystal clear. Shannon Clark, she was too young for him to be taking this risk, especially paying and doing all the other stuff. She was too young for him in this scenario. So I am holding him accountable for that.
Okay. And what would be not too young?
I would say the average age for strippers, which is like 20 to 24.
So one more year, she'd have been good.
She'd have been better. Like when you start talking about she was in prom last year, she might still be in high school. It's like, damn, Shannon Sharpe, that's a little bit. I can't defend you there, dog. I think that's a crucial year when you go from like being in high school to being an adult. Like you can buy guns, you can buy cigarettes. You can't even buy cigarettes no more. You can go to war. You can do a lot. You can vote. There's a lot.
Can't buy cigarettes.
I think they raised the age to 21 now.
21, I think.
For
That's
real?
good. I like it.
That's
but
crazy.
All right, so 36 isn't too much of an age gap. So as long as Tracee Ellis Ross fits in that, then it doesn't matter, then, right?
I mean, I think it's what you can get what you get. I think Shannon Sharpe will have better luck than Tracee Ellis Ross is. And
that's not what we were talking about. I'm just seeing wherever we were going to hold the.
I ain't gonna talk bad about Tracee.
wherever we was gonna hold the barrier of accountability or age gap. Let's just whatever it is. We can hold
so you're
both of
saying
them
the
to it.
standard-
Tracee Ellis
So you're
Ross
saying
shouldn't
the
be messing with
standard-
no 19-year-old boy.
She can get any range of age she can want to
Nah,
entertain.
That's
Ain't
crazy.
nothing
Why
messing
can't you
with
say
no-
that about Shannon Sharpe then? That's crazy.
No. You miss it. You miss it. What I'm saying is the same thing goes for Tracee Ellis Ross. She is in a unique position where she can go as young as she want and as old as she want. I think that she can literally pick from all ranges. Is all I'm saying.
So
I still think
in
19
this-
is too young. Period. I haven't backed off that opinion.
Tracee Ellis
But-
Ross will be able to pick with more
But
authentic.
Tracee Ellis Ross
like,
is not the
options,
average
too.
woman who gets to her 50s and all of a sudden like loses the value, in my opinion.
Like a 19-year-old dude mess with Tracee Ellis Ross. Really
No
don't want
question.
Tracee Ellis
No
Ross.
question.
Okay,
About
so
the money.
she's not gonna.
Well, because
a
he would still be sexually attracted to her.
I'm talking about physically, yeah, just like
Yeah,
she's still very much attractive to younger dudes. Like,
But
Older ones,
that's different. So what's she
middle-aged
gonna get? You
too.
think she's gonna get a successful younger dude to like pick a 60-year-old woman to marry?
that's what
Or do you
fucking.
think-
Well, if she's looking to get exploited, I would say she.
Drea
Madonna,
did it.
a lot of
Okay,
successful
okay.
women are doing shit like that.
Okay, so what about marry and also have a traditional like a dude that's of means, like in her at her level? Do you think that
Jalen
dude?
Green
at-
doing it right now.
But she's not Tracee Ellis Ross's age. I thought
LaMelo
we were talking about that.
LaMelo Ball got an older chick right now in the city. He would have, and she used to be like a poor.
She's not
thing.
Tracee Ellis Ross age though. I mean, you kind of pushing the goalposts there. But
They're
yeah.
Right,
older,
but
bro.
are you
Older.
asking the question? Her already being a woman of means and all this stuff. If she can get a 19, what are you saying? 20-year-old that's rich also? Is that what you're asking? And
No,
get
what I'm
him to
doing-
marry her? And like, what is the question that you're asking? Because that's what it sounds like you said it
pick
up as.
apart.
She's
What I'm
52.
trying to do is
She's 52.
52. But what I'm trying to do is pick apart your
Shannon,
how you
Tracee
kinda-
Ellis Ross, y'all just date. It's
you
solved.
because you're implying that there's not a double standard or there's not a reason for the double standard between you. Like if a man can do it, a woman can do it too. And I don't think society works that way because men and women want different things out of marriages typically, and you're not gonna get that as an older woman as likely as you'll get that as an older man. You're probably just going to get ran through as an older woman. Usually the men that most women are looking for at they're younger aren't checking for somebody in their 60s, but the opposite isn't true. Like a man that's of means that's older, a lot of women that are younger are checking for them.
It's not to get exploited
because
for $10 million.
We're looking for different things.
No, but hold on, but let's pause it right here. Like I don't know of 50 and 60-year-old men that don't get exploited by women. That are of like 25 and under. It happens over and over and over and over and over again. Like really, the reality is that like 9 times out of 10, when it's a guy that's 40 years old and he's with a 22-year-old, he's getting exploited financially and eventually by finances. Even if they have the kid, they break up within 3 years afterward. If they get married, it's usually played to where it's not a prenup. Like we see it all the time. Like this isn't like a new thing. It's
tricky when you get forced into paying shit and you don't want to pay no more. That's when you get tricked.
Exactly.
Right, but you're setting it up as if like the guys
you like using him that like that. He's just
no, but the guys aren't having better success. If you're 60 years old and you get with a young woman and then she ends up getting you for a bunch of money, then leaving you and then living off your money, you didn't win in that scenario.
But I don't think Shannon was looking for anything more than just paying for her and then her to come and go. I don't think he was looking for
No. All right, see, you see how like you keep setting the parameters in different places. For Tracee Ellis Ross, it was having a traditional marriage with a 20-year-old, and if that person can fulfill all the ordeals of whatever. With Shannon Sharpe, now you're setting the goalpost at, well, I don't think he was trying to do all that. He still got. It looks like he's going to get exploited for at least $10 million. It didn't work.
But this is the thing, though. If we're comparing men and women and what we're looking for relationships, the goalposts can't be the same because it's inherently different.
But if both people are getting exploited,
record, I don't think that's what we comparing.
Yeah,
I don't think that's what we comparing. I think we were just comparing two people, Shannon Sharpe and Tracee Ellis Ross, not comparing the average attractive level of men versus women. I don't think it's the same because I don't think either one of them are average men or women.
So I don't think you can make this comparison between them without acknowledging the gender dynamics.
The gender dynamic exists, but within that, I don't know of Tracee Ellis Ross wanting a 20-year-old or a 19-year-old.
She said that to Michelle Obama, and Michelle Obama cheered her on.
She did not say a 20-year-old. Not at all.
My bad. She said younger dude. And Michelle Obama was like, yeah, you go, girl. That type of situation.
Yeah, but
versus
she didn't put.
Men do that.
She didn't put
weird. You're like, oh, you were a groomer. You're all these type of things.
But how young?
Seeing the former first lady like cheer on the woman dating younger. But if Obama got on there cheering on a man dating younger women, that would be seen as like predatory.
But men naturally date younger anyway. Like I don't understand what you're saying.
If Obama was on stage and cheered on a man for wanting to date younger women, it would not be accepted the same way as Michelle Obama getting on stage doing the same.
Bill Belichick is on UNC's campus right now with a 24-year-old.
What man is cheering him on?
Every red pill nigga.
No, hear me out. All right,
hear me out. The concept.
Obama. Is there anybody on the level of Michelle Obama who is cheering on Bill Belichick? Anybody that's dignified and respected?
Talk radio.
My bad. What
red pill?
Could we use Trump?
Like somebody like.
Could we use Trump inside these scenarios? Because they cheer on Trump in like all of his age gaps that he's had in his relationships.
Did Trump cheer on another man for dating a?
No, I'm saying like the entire like right cheered on all the way down to like his porn star scandal. They cheered that on. They made justifications to it.
That's not what I'm asking. You can't give me another example of somebody at the level of Michelle Obama. That's a man cheering on men for dating younger women. You can't give me an example.
Yeah, because it's a straw man. Like this is it's normal. It's such a straw man of a conversation. Again, if we're already saying that men, especially of means, date younger, it wouldn't like you're just telling them to do what most men are doing anyway.
Where's the outcry from women saying that she shouldn't have said that? The way that y'all are talking about men shouldn't date younger.
Nobody said men shouldn't date younger.
You keep making up
nobody said men shouldn't date younger. Nobody said that.
It sounds like everybody was cool with like between 25, 26 and up.
But you're making stipulations on it. We're the women who are saying, okay, Tracee Ellis Ross, not too young now. Where are they policing?
I'm sure if she said, I'm going to get a 19-year-old, everybody would say something.
Yeah.
She didn't like the age didn't come out.
And nor did proof come out of her fucking a 19-year-old. Like that's also way different. Like
Madonna did that, right? Did Madonna have a younger dude? There's been and Cher had a younger
19-year-old. I don't know if they're 19, but I just said Cher, Madonna, they do have younger niggas, but 19, I don't think they're 19. Like, and nobody's for the record, nobody's arguing men shouldn't date younger women. Nobody's arguing that.
We just get criticized for it, and then women are allowed to say it without being criticized by other women.
I don't think men get criticized for it.
You don't think men get criticized for dating women that people deem too young for them to date? You saying that doesn't happen?
Too young, but not for dating younger women.
Yeah, so it's like it's like men date younger women all the time. Now look, like I said, if you're a man with kids and you start dating people younger than your kids, I think you get criticized. So it's like that's why I asked the question. Like if you had a daughter, would the idea of dating someone younger than your daughter be a little off to you? And you said you agree that would be seem a little different. And I think if you're in a situation where like a Shannon Sharpe and you've got grown daughters and you're dating younger than your grown daughters, then yeah, I think people might look at you and say, damn, did you know this nigga got a such and such and she younger than his daughter? Like that does.
To me, I personally wouldn't like. I'm not interested in anybody younger than my younger brothers and sisters.
But I think people would look at a woman crazy if she was dating somebody younger than her son too, though.
But women don't
for sure.
Well, I mean, but that's what's happening with Drea. That's what I'm saying. Like the call out happens on both sides. Anthony Edwards
from women or from dudes.
Anthony Edwards was just now. Not him, but his baby mama was just getting drug online.
I mean, same difference. Are women dragging women for this?
I don't. My thing is that I don't follow a bunch of women that I get to see a bunch of like their commentary.
Because my point is,
I do get to see what men talk about. I don't know.
a lot of these women who talk about dudes dating younger, they will not talk bad about Drea for dating younger. They'll be silent about it. A lot of men may push back on it, but these women, it's a hypocrisy there. That's what I'm talking about.
But by that same metric, then it like the same applies with men. Like most men aren't being like, damn, you dating too young. They're like, damn, you got that? Damn, that's kind of fire. That's what happens. And then you have a minority of guys is like, you shouldn't date younger, or that's too young. In general, you throw the bad shorty that's really young, not really young, but you understand what I'm saying, like 22, 23. As a 40-year-old guy, most niggas inside the group chat is giving you hand claps. Are we gonna pretend that's not real?
On this panel, you just said it's too young.
It's gonna be like the day they hate. It's gonna be like, I hope he don't hit it.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like we
So y'all aren't. I thought y'all just had some criticism about, or had some feedback about how young is too young. What's really happening?
But that's on both sides though. Like, and I don't think that this is like a hard concept to wrap your mind around. I think women and men on the majority side would say that if you are probably over 30 and you're dating a 19-year-old, that's too young and it's exploitative.
No matter the gender?
On both sides, yes, no matter the gender. I don't think that this is like a hard. But then when you push it up to 56, I think that it becomes way easier. It becomes even more easier on either side. No matter if it's the guy or the girl who's dating that young.
Creepier if it's the girl with a 19-year, like a 58-year-old woman with a 19-year-old dude. Like, weird.
Man, and this is the thing, and we don't have to like belabor the point, but all I'm saying is that a lot of women who I see a lot of women talk about men and who they should date and how and the age and everything like that, but I don't see too many women comment on women when they date younger women. I think it's one of those things where like rules for me, not for me type of situation. But
where do you be at to see like a lot of like the women talk at?
Shade Room in the comments. There's a lot of women there. I mean, that's just one example. Like you can look at you act like I don't have social media accounts, bro. I see women comment all the time about criticizing what men's decisions are.
Don't cite the shade room as like normalcy. Like it's the shade room. It's called the shade room.
There's other channels then too where I see in the comment sections it goes to the same thing about interracial dating too. Like
is it like that
gets with a dude that's not black, they'll cheer on. When a black dude does it, they want to comment. There's a double standard there, bro.
Black men are dating outside the race at a high like it's not like my thing is that you act like none of these things are still going to happen and they still happen. That's not my point. If they're commenting on a man dating a little younger, men are still going to do it, and it's not stopped. And men don't care. It don't matter.
Then why don't they comment on women when they do it though? When women,
because it happens a lot rarer. I think that it's so much rare.
In the rare instances where it does happen, then I don't see pushback against it from women. That's all I'm saying. It seemed like they got criticism from men, but they don't have criticism like accountability for themselves. It's just like to blame the men constantly, but never blame themselves. Is what I'm saying. Even with the Michelle Obama being the former first lady, like going on a podcast, which is weird, talking about dating with like all this type of stuff, and then to cheer the older woman on for saying I like younger men. That seemed like unbecoming of a former first lady. But I don't know if we'll get into that later. But
yeah, we can. I can probably find like more of like direct quotes. But saying all that to say 19 is too young. We can move on to
and lock them boys up if they actually did it. Don't be trying to somebody actually did something that's illegal.
What if it was just tricking?
That's
lock them up.
I'm saying it. I just said they did something illegal. They should be locked up. They should be locked up and not sued. No, tricking isn't illegal. Prostitution is illegal. It's different.
It's the same. Oh, I meant tricking is in prostitution. If you're paying for cheeks, which it implies
this is very
what
juicy.
He's doing.
But
they get those pick me women. They get like drug all the time. Like that's not a cool thing to be as a pick me. So that's proving my point.
Okay. I imagine the pick-me's don't do bad with men.
Yeah, because pick-me's get picked because they know how to act, but they get drugged by the other women. That's my point. The pick-me's might speak up, but they're an extreme minority. But the rest of them will comment if a man does something they don't like. But if a woman does something,
but right now we're talking about
it.
extreme minorities. And it's like, so what's normal is that guys date younger. But most guys don't date extremely younger. So that's already a minority that we're talking about. But then most women at way higher of a minority don't date younger. Even less women don't date extremely younger. So we're only talking about like a hyper minority of anything that's even happening.
I don't understand how that's relevant because
you just used the word that we're talking about a minority. Like the entire conversation is about a hyper minority.
But if there are 100 men that do it and only 20 women that do it, and you're a woman commenting on the 100 men, then you need to comment on the 20 women that do it too. It doesn't matter that more men do it than women. Like if you have a problem with something, then have a problem with it no matter what gender it is.
Okay, so no double standard.
It sounds like they're just jealous.
So no double standard to it then.
No double standard.
I'm asking, like, this is like, it sounds like you're saying it should be a double standard, that you believe in double standards, but then it sounds like you're also saying that it should be equal and the women should not look at it as a double standard.
Some double standards are inherent. So if you're talking about men being older than the women, I think typically the men are older than women in relationships, and that's not a double standard. That's just kind of the way it is. But if you want to say that if women have a problem with men dating younger, then it sounds like if they cheer for a woman doing it, sounds like they're really just jealous because they can't do it. Because when they get a chance to do it, they jump on it. But when a man does it, they hate. So it sounds like that's just jealousy right there. So I don't see how you can apply that to any double standard logic that I've had before, because double standards.
Well, no, it's just literally a double standard.
But double standards have nuances there. So
this has a nuance. That's what makes it different.
Example.
No, it's a nuance. That's why it's a double standard. And again, like if you ascribe to all the notions of men and women aren't the same, what men and women want out of relationships are different, then naturally you can draw a really easy like line to why and what. Like it's not hard to understand the double standard of it. And again, like for me, I just hold the bar the exact same. So I don't really care about the double standard, me personally. But if you're a double standard nigga, then I would imagine that you would see the double standard and be like, well, that's a double standard. I believe in double standards. They exercise in a double standard. I like exercising my double standard.
I think you're reducing it to a way that
you like one way double standards. I got you.
No, it's not that at all. But what I'm saying is it's natural for men to be older. If you want to call that a double standard. So
what is that? Why is it natural? Why is it natural for men to be older?
Because typically what men and women look for in relationships is different. So that's the foundation of a double standard, right? So if men and women are looking for different things in a relationship, then age may be impacted by those different things that we're looking, because age may weigh differently.
But because they're also looking at different things, they're going to be critical of different things. They're going to pay attention to different things. Men are going to pay.
Damn, you froze.
Things like it's going to be different.
You froze for a second. Repeat that, G.
I said, because of what you're saying is true. It's like women are going to have critiques that don't apply to women because they don't expect the same from women as they do from men, because there's a double standard that exists. So the critique won't be equal because the expectations aren't equal.
And you're admitting that from the jump, saying that they're different, and what people look for, what men and women look for in relationships are different. So why would you want them to react the exact same way to the exact same scenario if what they look for is different?
And what they value is different.
Yeah, what they value is different. Now, that's what I'm saying. Like, and again, like this is if you ascribe to it. To me, if you dating too far young, to me, across the board, I just hold it accountable both ways. To me, it's exploitation. But if, like I said, if you're a double standard nigga, that's all I'm saying. But in other news,
no, I'm not a double standard nigga.
You guys go I don't know if anybody in here has denounced him from the GOAT conversation. I think was that Johnny that had a joke.
I had to denounce.
But nonetheless, Kanye West, he did recently release a record. There's been kind of some mixed conversation as it's pertained to it. But nonetheless, he released a record called Cousins, in which he speaks about molesting his younger cousin. I think he's younger by like 6 years or something like that. He
went on to
later
go to
went
jail.
I would say you gotta say as a child now. Like you make. He
was a child.
Yeah, because
okay, he molested his younger cousin while they both were kids. In which he later put out a tweet in which he kind of detailed that, you know, he got interested in a lot of corn when he was younger through the introduction of his dad's magazines, but his mama had different magazines, and he put his little cousin onto it, and they would start acting out the shit until the younger cousin was 14, which I guess that would make him 20. But nonetheless, he ended it off by saying, I was sucking my cousin's piece up until he was 14. And when I stopped, he committed murder on his girl or some shit like that. I don't know. He brought in the idea that he's in jail for life for killing his spouse because of he stopped doing the intercourse thing with his cousin. But nonetheless,
wait, what?
Fellas, the Kanye West, is this a troll? Is this information that we needed? Is this something that we should be looking at as him getting off his trauma and now he can be made whole? I think that there's been some think pieces of, you know, like this is positive for victims. I'm not sure. Where do y'all stand at with this? Should it be outrage? Should it be empathy? G, we can start with you, brother, man.
Man, I don't even want to give it too much energy, man. He just foul.
And this is still your GOAT, or
no? I can never say that publicly. You know, the can't change the past. The catalog is the catalog. He has, in my opinion, as close to objectively when it comes to music, the best discography of any hip hop artist out there, in my opinion.
Are we counting like the past like 8 years too?
I'm talking about just all time discography, top to bottom. Just if you look at the
like the past 8 years too, though,
top to bottom, this entire career, you can't take away the classics. That's the thing. Like regardless of what, because that's the thing.
It's like Wayne. Wayne had it. He started off hot.
No, but Kanye actually has two arguable classics in the last 5 years with Donda and Vultures. The first one, like both of those joints are.
Well, I think that I actually will give you Donda, but Vultures now.
The first Vultures,
we ain't rolling.
I don't know, man. I think everything he did.
But Donda, yes.
Hard, bro.
Donda one, yes. To me, that might be the best album of the 2020s as of right now.
Yeah. So it's like we got to give him that credit. Like he's and you might not like.
But he had a couple duds before and after too, though. But
even some of those duds, I think, you know, some of those duds was all right. Some of those duds all right. Can't See Ghosts with Cuddy, like people was hating on it. That shit was rocking. That's a joint. The Ye album, low key. But either way, top, like I said, top to bottom, you can't take away the undeniable classics, contributions. Mm-hmm. You know, so look, that's just what it is. But I'm not like arguing for this nigga on any public forum, anywhere. Like if niggas want to argue about Kanye, I'm just gonna be silent.
Okay. Johnny, what is your take? Empathy, he was you know, what is the cleanest way that we can make this statement? He was he was having a time with his cousin. Does that elicit empathy, outrage, anger, sadness? I don't know. What is your thoughts? Is he doing this for attention? is this is I guess this is also another thing that DJ Academics has introduced in the conversation. You just now on I don't know what he had that hour-long little podcast with him. And Kanye's been texting him and inviting him to Japan, XYZ, but he was saying how being around Kanye, you start understanding that everything that he does is planned out and really, really intentionally strategic. And when he was last around him, Kanye was talking about how he could top the Jay-Z tweet. And when he was talking about the Jay-Z tweet, of course, y'all know what I mean when I'm saying the Jay-Z tweet, right? Him and his kids. He was saying the Jay-Z tweet had just topped the whole swastika tweets that he was doing. And he was like, now that don't sound so bad no more. And it seems like he also has this idea of trying to push the limit of how he can outrage people. And that's where the idea of people are floating that this could be a troll and or it's him just fishing for more virality and trying to find the ways to keep one-upping. Johnny.
I mean, like when I first read it, I thought he was the younger cousin. And I had like an empathy because I was looking at him kind of more like a victim. But then learning that he's actually the older cousin,
the predator.
He was doing this to his younger cousin. I mean, he kind of a predator. Like, I mean, depending on how much older he was than his cousin, and like you was showing him the point, like this is kind of problematic. Like he might be admitting to like crimes.
It's very problematic.
And it's like I feel sorry for him. I guess like there's some sickness there. I do feel sorry for him. There's some kind of sickness going on with my man. But like I feel sorry for the cousin too, because it sounds like the cousin he in jail now apparently, and he did all of this. Shit. It sounds like it had some issues on that man.
Well, yeah, it sounds like it directly ruined his life.
You ruined that man's life, and so maybe like Kanye fighting. I don't know, but I feel sorry for the cousin. I feel sorry for Kanye. They both probably need help, and I don't want to give it too much attention, or worry about anything on the commercial side of it or capital. Like I ain't trying to get him no more money or no more attention off of it, but this is something that's really personal between his family that is probably needs therapy and probably it kind of explains a lot of how he's been acting over the last several decades.
Gotcha. And as a quick commercial, as this is up right now, again, these conversations typically do start inside the Unpack chat. We are now giving our audience access to the conversations. We'll love to hear y'all feedback in real time. We often affectionately refer to the Unpack chat. We're opening the gates for y'all. Join the Discord. Again, we're almost in there daily, just having conversations. Again, just kind of chatting it up. Y'all see it? Like I said, I know we might have some old heads in here. You might have to download the app, but it does allow for some fun conversations. So we'll love for y'all to join the Discord and give us the opportunity to engage with y'all weekly or daily, honestly. All right, with that said, Trey.
Man, I think this kind of goes into what we talked about last week, where they only elevate people who they have dirt on. So if this information is true, then I wouldn't be surprised if other people already know about this information and they're using it to, they like hold it over him. So, I guess, and Ye staying in the news, I don't know is Ye like trying to numb us so they can't blackmail him? Because at this point, like, what could they put out on him that's going to shock us now? So that would disarm their ability to do that. And another thing is, like, a lot of people see porn early, but it doesn't make you gay. Like, I wonder if there's like another family member that, because a lot of times this stuff is cyclical. So
I imagine this would been the time for him to just come out and say it, though. But instead of saying, like, I did that to my cousin. Typically, the story would then be like, somebody did this to me, so I did this to them.
But he didn't tell a story. He just made a tweet to Sharpe.
In the,
so he
in the
might not
tweet,
have told the whole story.
In the tweet, in the song, both of them, he told the story of what happened though. It started with him finding his parents, specifically his mother's porn magazine. And he, got with his cousin and they acted out those things.
I get what you're saying, Q. A lot of we can only go with what we know, but I'm just saying a lot of times these patterns are cyclical. That's all I'm saying. So I wouldn't be surprised if there might be more to the story to make this match what is more like typical. And another thing I'm wondering is like, is there a statute of limitations for doing stuff like this as a child? And if he was 14 when he stopped, I wonder how old he was when he started. And then also, I don't even like talking about this topic because it makes me uncomfortable. So it's kind of, there's that too. I feel like I gotta say pause about all this stuff, man, because it's a lot to process.
Gotcha.
Make a big pause button in the chat.
Yeah. All right. So, any final thoughts on that? We can kind of continue moving down the line. If not,
I mean, I'd like to hear your thoughts on at this point.
Me?
Everyone, if a tool that they use against all these people is being able to blackmail them into doing their bidding, like the dominant society, a lot of the people that hold the levers of power. Do you think it's possible for Ye to make us so numb that there's really nothing that they could show us that would like dethrone him?
Well, I guess my thing would be I don't know of any other thing besides for this specifically that would be self-deprecating and like, so if he was doing this with like a bunch of his dirty laundry, then maybe I'm starting to be like, huh? But I don't think like any of the MAGA stuff was that. I don't think that any of like the Hitler stuff was that. I don't think that any of the stuff with his wife and like, I don't think none of those things are self-deprecating. Like this is just a very specific instance. So in my opinion, like if there was a longer trail that showed him self-deprecating and trying to get things out that people have been saying or like, his past, but I don't really know where that's at outside of this. It's like, and that's kind of what makes it so random is like, usually, I don't know. Like usually he's pushing the line of like, I can say the most egregious thing that is abrasive to other people, not it being like literally abrasive on me.
I feel you. That's a fair point. He's usually not self-deprecating. He's usually more rude to other people. But I think you can, maybe if you're self-deprecating enough, then it takes the sting off of like, if you talk all this stuff about yourself, then it's hard to like take you seriously when you say something about someone else. So, like the method in what's that movie with Eminem where
talking about B-Rabbit
bottle.
You talking about B-Rabbit
was whoever,
not B-Rabbit. Wait, what's
Clarence, right?
No,
Clarence got a very good marriage.
Eminem did that in the battle. He started talking a lot of
B-Rabbit. That was his name, wasn't it? Wasn't his name
B-Rabbit? Was the white dude that shot himself.
I thought that was Cheddar Bob.
Yeah, that's Cheddar Bob.
Cheddar Bob. Yeah, that's Cheddar
B-Rabbit
Bob.
When you B-Rabbit yourself, that's when you like self-deprecate in a rap battle so the person can't say anything. That's what I've always looked at it as.
Yeah, maybe it's some of that too. Or maybe he's just crazy. I mean, there's always that. I mean, he does some things that make sense, but he also does some things that don't make sense. This might just be one of those things that don't make no sense. He's trying to sell an album.
This ain't even trying to sell an album, bro. This is like this is the opposite.
Well, this just sounds like a weird. It's going to be a wild album if the album is based around calling all his homies Nazis and.
Like I have zero interest in checking out this album.
And then one up in like Kendrick said, my auntie is a man now.
I don't have any interest.
Kanye was like, hold on.
Hold my beer.
Hold on. Watch this.
Y'all really not gonna check the album out?
I ain't really interested in it.
Bro,
but I don't be
he's talking about sucking dick on the album. You want to listen to it?
I don't know if that's gonna make the cut of the playlist. I don't think that's really gonna be on the album. think that's just a rumor. It ain't gonna be there.
He
People
talking
gonna be
about
listening, looking for. Kanye probably just said that, so you're gonna listen to all the songs on the album. Be like, hold up, where's he gonna talk about this?
But
And
see,
actually,
that's
no, I'm
what
just
that's what's
not.
not gonna happen.
I'm just
I'm
not
not
gonna
gonna.
listen to it. That's gonna backfire. If you joke about having dick sucking on the album, I'm just not gonna listen. Like I'm
Yeah,
not
bro.
just
And,
gonna.
and
I'm
to
just
be
gonna
honest, like
listen.
I'm at that point too, where like, and I don't mean this like disrespectful way, but like even like on TV, like if I'm watching a show and I feel like I didn't seen one too many scenes or instances, I just boycott the show. I don't want to see the shit no more. Like,
yeah,
like
I'm with you on that, G.
They
I don't
get
even
one
watch new
pass
shows no
for
more,
two
bro.
dudes.
yeah, I can't barely. I can't be. I don't want to be watching that shit, bro. Respectfully, and I don't want to listen to that shit either. I just don't even want to. Like, so if that's the type of vibe you want, then like I don't watch
I don't
weird
think
shit
you're
like
not gonna do
Euphoria.
that,
That shit
bro.
weird. I don't Black Mirror weird. I don't like none of that
Oh no,
weirdo
Black
shit,
Mirror.
bro.
All right, I roll with Black Mirror.
Man,
Like,
They
you're
had
not
that. They
gonna
had
make
that
an
one
album.
episode that was kind of wild.
It's too weird.
But
That's one is
You're not
enough.
gonna, Ye not gonna do that. Ye not gonna be the first rapper to rap about doing that. Even gay
he already
people like
did.
Frank
He already
Ocean.
did.
How can you say that? He did it already.
He's
The
There was a
song's
song?
released. Yeah, the song's
I
released
didn't-
already.
I
It's
didn't
called
listen to the
Cousins.
song.
Yeah.
Is it really him rapping and it sound like it's real?
No, it's he put out the tweet afterward to give
Yeah,
like
shit,
the whole clarification,
That shit AI.
and then he talked to DJ Academics about it. Like I don't know. All right, so I think that this is probably a good intermission to I know that we had a couple conversations that our guy Trey wanted to bring to the panel, to the live from the chat. Again, this is another plug. Tap into the chat. There's always fun conversations happening there. Look inside the details, and G is about to post another link to it again. But yeah, I think we did most recently have a conversation about bravery and what constitutes bravery, anonymity, what constitutes yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna kind of toss it to y'all. Y'all were engaged in this conversation. Trey, talk to us.
I guess the main thing we kind of disagreed on is I don't think it's brave to show your face while saying something that isn't controversial at all. I think it is brave to show your face and say something controversial. And I think a lot of times if you want to say something that's an original thought, but you also don't want to, you weigh the risk reward of, having some being anonymous to some degree, then I think there's still value in you sharing your opinion. And I don't think if you're saying something that goes to the status quo and you're showing your face, you can comment on someone saying something that is that goes against the grain and then say that they're not brave because it's easy what you're
because
doing.
They're hiding behind like a avatar. Is that what you're saying?
If you're hiding behind an avatar and you say something that you mean that's true to you, like you're not trolling or anything like that, but it's kind of controversial, but you want to put the thought out there, I think that's not there may be some cowardice to that, but I think it's still braver than showing your face and saying something that isn't original at all. It's just what everyone says. Like you can't give yourself a pat on the back for that and then look down on someone who's going against the grain just because they're not showing their face. Like it would be easy to show their face. I bet they would show their face if they were going to get on here and say what you just said. That was easy.
Who's you?
I don't know, but G,
I don't remember that being what we were talking about in terms of how he framed it, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I think I thought it was a conversation around this idea of if you are going against the grain. I thought, Trey, you were saying that it's brave to not show your face because you're going against the grain and you don't want to let your family down and stuff like that. So it's brave to not show your face and stuff that.
No, I don't think that it's brave to not show your face, but I think if you are concerned about disappointing loved ones and but you want to say something that's real that you think needs to be said, and you're not trolling, I don't think you should like criticize a person for that or call them cowardly or anything like that. You know what I mean? Because a lot
if they're afraid to say it without putting their name on it.
Because you have to weigh the cost.
So we'll be like these conversations. Maybe this helps ground it, in my opinion.
Like a lot of times people call in and they support like some of my perspectives that are more pro FBA. But let's say they have family that is hardcore pro Democrat, or their circles are pro Democrat or anything like that. Then if they don't think it's worth it to show their face and show some support, but they're also able to add something to the conversation without showing their face, I think there's some value there.
Yeah, I don't think that's brave at all, in my opinion. Like, if you're only worried about what your parents are going to say is like a 35,
not just your parents, but
your old, or like, you know, like your general
your circle, your business partners, your livelihood. A lot of things
yeah,
you say,
whatever it is. In my opinion,
a lot of times if you go out there and say certain things, it can affect your livelihood if you offend people that you get money with. So
sure, I like this would be a new wrinkle that you just threw into it. I wouldn't tell anybody to say anything. I wouldn't tell anybody to say anything that you don't have to say, unless you're passionate about it. But also, I would also say that if you are doing something or saying something that you, if you feel something and because of your parents don't have this, in my opinion, we would just
listen to your parents. Please don't do that, bro, because that's completely mischaracterizing what I'm saying.
It's not. You just said your livelihood. It's not. You just said your parents. I'm just gonna go with your example that you just said.
Not just your parents.
Okay, cool. But I'm gonna just go with your example that you just said.
I also said your livelihood too, Q. You didn't, but you chose to.
Okay, I said I can understand that. So, is there anything else you want me to address when you say livelihood? I said I can understand that. We could put that to the side.
Livelihood and parents don't really got too much to do with each other. So, but if you want to
so why did you say both of them? That's fine. Then why did you say both of them?
Because you were about to say that if you're scared of what your parents are going to say. But what I'm
you just said it.
About,
I don't have to say what you just said.
I also said your livelihood. I didn't just say you're scared of what your parents.
Okay, all right. So it's we're circling the wagon again. So again, I just said, okay, I understand. Like, if you have business partners and you're pulling the Michael Jordan, and if that's what you're saying, like Republicans and Democrats both buy shoes. If that's what you're saying, cool. All right, so we could put that to the side. How do you feel about if your parents are Democrat, but you won't speak about Democrats because with the camera on because of your parents are Democrats, but you are starkly Republican? How do you feel about that?
If it's just your parents, then I think you're cowardly.
Okay, cool.
But it's not. If it's not just your parents, it's if it's your whole family. If it
so like your whole family. When you say, let's walk it.
If it's
let's
all
walk
of them,
hold on. You're trying to snowball everything together. Let's walk it though. All right, so not just your parents. Your family? What does your family mean? So that's just like your grandparents, your cousins, your uncles. So if all of them just are on the Democratic plantation, you shouldn't speak out about the Democratic plantation because of all of your, I guess, close relatives feel away.
I think if you don't think it's valuable for you to get on the podcast and then speak on some things, it's pretty much inconsequential, and then show your face because you're not going to affect anything. So you choose that battle is not worth it. I think that's understandable. I wouldn't call you cowardly.
Oh, then it's not important for you to say it with the camera on or off then.
But I think if you do want to chime in, but you want to be anonymous, but you're saying something adding to the conversation, but you just don't think it's worth it, I think there's value there. Like an example of someone who does that is Jason Black and Professor Black Truth. They don't show their face. But
are they doing that because of their parents though, or their family? Like, I wouldn't put that on it. They might have business partners. That's cool. But I would love to stay.
Wow!
I love to say what the example is at. Like, you're about to start streaming things back into it. But if we're saying,
never said business partners, did I? Q? I didn't say livelihood. Oh, now I'm throwing it in there randomly.
All right. So right now you're doing the thing where I literally reintroduced it and gave them grace because of that. Like, are you missing what I'm saying? I said I wouldn't put the fact that it's his family on him because of it could be due to business partners.
Yo, can y'all
Who are
kick
you saying?
niggas Afro Donald, whatever he is, bro? In the in your chat, can you kick Afro niggas or whatever his name is? He's
Can I
like
kick him?
he's
Or
spamming
her.
he's spamming trolling in the chat. I
Okay.
don't know. Basically asking you
Um,
in the chat if y'all can kick this man.
Gotcha.
You saying it?
Yeah, I can see. I can look and see what I can do. I think it allows me to put a person on timeout.
I got you. We don't got no mods.
Oh damn! I think that's
You just
maybe they
delete
put the
whole
entire
thing.
chat on. My bad. Yeah, see. Oh, maybe it didn't. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
My fault. I didn't mean to derail, but like, you know, he causing mayhem in the chat. But all I'm saying is I
That
think
boy said he blamed
that
me for this shit.
my original.
Oh, we
I
need a
don't wanna
chat
be-
moderator. Got you. Yeah, I guess we gonna have to some of our regulars. We'll have to throw the moderator thing out there for y'all. But yeah. To
I
me,
think-
again, like if it affects your your money, I'm not telling anybody to crash out on things that don't make sense. But again, in my opinion, if it's only based off of the idea of like I'm worried about what my family can say, and it's not like I don't think that anybody, honestly, like if we're talking about you put the bar at Democrats, speaking out about like how you feel about Democrats. I think that's weak. If you're scared to get on the camera because of like we can broaden it to other things, but specifically for that, I think that's weak.
Q, I think it is weak if you don't want to talk about a party only because of your mommy and daddy. So if you want to frame it like that, then I don't mind.
You said family also. I think that you said family.
Okay. If it's just some family, then I think you could be a little braver, but at the same time, I don't talk about certain things at Thanksgiving dinner just because it's not worth it, and I don't want to embarrass my family. So,
but what's embarrassing your family? I don't understand what that means. Like having a different political opinion doesn't embarrass your family.
I think there's a lot of programming, and especially in our the black community, where to even go against the Democrats publicly, they kind of say you're a coon. They assume you're MAGA. I get that all the time.
But I don't.
Is it worth it?
But to me, again, like I guess this is where I'm different at. Like whether you agree or disagree with my opinion, it doesn't matter, and I don't really care what you call me. Like my opinion is just gonna be my opinion. And again, if you are like again, we don't have to use you for example, but if you're a person that does stand for going against the quote unquote Democratic plantation, and this being a huge detriment and moving people away from that as being like a big pillar, then yeah, to me, again, I think that it ends up bordering on cowardice if that is also a belief that would embarrass you and your family.
I got you, and that's why I'm here, and I think there's some bravery there, but I do know that I am kind of going against the grain with a lot of the FBA perspectives for now. I think as things pick up, you'll see the tide start to turn. But for right now, I do know that a lot of people that call in and they're supportive, they don't show their camera. And I think that if you're dealing with a lot of like tethers, hypothetically, then you may want to speak up for your people, but you also may not want to affect your livelihood at the same time. And I think that's understandable.
Yeah. Again, I get it. Like I said, it's just not necessarily where I personally, where I draw my line at. Fellas, before we end, Johnny, hop in.
So what's the question about? Are we doing it off of? We basing it just off like your family seeing it, or
no, your livelihood. If you want to chime in and speak your piece and represent your people, but you might work for some people that they may not, they may punish you for your views and you supporting your people. But if you want to come on and support your people but not show your camera, is that cowardly?
No, I wouldn't say it's cowardly. It's not revolutionary though. I mean, it's
right. I agree with that, yeah.
But like, if you want to be revolutionary, then like you come and you speak the shit, and
you gotta be self-employed at that point.
Or you gotta be ready. You gotta be ready to face the consequences, whatever they may be. Like you may get fired, you may not, but you gotta be ready for that. And that's like that's the leadership aspect of it, and that's like the selflessness or the selfless aspect that we miss a lot of time in community, even on a smaller scale where people aren't necessarily willing to make that sacrifice for the
Right.
change. Everybody is in that I gotta
Just to have an
make a
uncomfortable
meal.
holiday dinner. So all right, so it sounds like we all do agree that like you shouldn't sacrifice your livelihood. But let's move it. So now let's move it away from livelihood and go with this just being whether it's your friend group or your family, extended family, XYZ. Should you withhold your opinion because of you feel that it might embarrass you?
No, actually, I think that's actually unhealthy when you bring it to a smaller uh level like that. A lot of that can actually be unhealthy within a family dynamic or a friend group. If I really got it, especially if it's somebody like family and they really mess with you, and I just gotta be quiet every time. I can't speak my views on anything. That's gonna lead to a certain level of resentment, and it's gonna be that's gonna have to be released at some point, one way or another, whether it's a fight, whether it's words getting said. So even on a smaller scale, holding that in and not communicating, whether it's, brave or not, but it's just not healthy.
But
And
John, though,
you got to be able to communicate with your friends and family how you feel.
but what's the benefit of upsetting your grandma? Like, if she is a hardcore Kamala voter and she asks, "What do you think about Kamala?" Should I really go into, "Oh, she not black," or "I'm not
But you
voting
ain't.
for her. I might vote for
Why would
Trump"?
that be where you attack it at?
But like, but hold on. But
Why
like,
can't you just say I'm not a fan?
yeah,
And
there's
I would talk
ways,
about like policy. Like I do this shit all the time. Like,
there's
okay,
ways to do it without being like without going all the like. You don't have to be on either of the extremes. You can just say I don't necessarily agree with some of her policies. Uh, like there's so many ways to talk yourself out of
But
just being like, oh, I hate Kamala. I don't fuck with her. Nah,
but
like
then
that
all they're
would.
gonna do
and
is
she'll tell
tell
you.
you what they heard on MSNBC, and that's what they're gonna do, and there's nothing that you can do that's gonna change what they saw on
Okay, but you
MSNBC
can,
and believe.
but
So
Trey,
what's
if
the
you can't,
point?
but because I still got an opinion, whether you agree with it or not, this is my opinion. You can have yours, and it doesn't have to upset. But if you can't express your opinion without somebody being upset, that's a toxic environment.
Yeah,
Especially if you
and,
grown.
and
We ain't talking
Like,
about being 15, 16, 17,
like,
18,
like if you
19,
got an
20,
opinion, if you got
21,
a real
22, 23.
opinion,
You
if
30
you
plus.
if you got a real
Like,
opinion on something, why can't you talk about it with your friends and family?
but
Like,
Bro,
and I
I've
it,
been
also
getting this since a gay marriage with Obama when I wasn't a big fan of that, and I was like, bro, this seemed a little
Well, then,
strange, and they're
but
like,
then Trey, then Trey, maybe it's something in the way you communicate with your family or anybody.
maybe.
Where because like if you can't sit down and disagree amicably with somebody, especially on politics, don't matter. Like I understand you fighting over the thermostat more than like politics. Thermostat actually make you sweat at night. I could that's real. That's a real disagreement with the thermostat. Politics, that's just what we think about the world, and we don't
Yeah,
even know.
I don't
but
think
I
there's
think
no
too though,
reason
like
to
when you
talk
having
about it.
conversation, the goal of the conversation don't have to be to change the other person's mind. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just discourse
Right.
back and forth.
So
It
then they're
doesn't
just
have
gonna
to
be
be like
disappointed then.
I
say
see
what?
but you
how
don't have.
you.
But
Then
the
they're just
thing
gonna
is,
be
like, if you.
disappointed. What's the
But
point of disappointing
what
them?
if you enter the conversation with the idea that I can be open for whichever side, and I'm gonna lay out what I understand. I'm gonna check what they understand, and wherever I landed after that, then that's where I landed.
I just don't see no value in disappointing nobody. We're gonna walk away from
Okay.
it. Nobody's gonna have pick up any new knowledge.
But that's that would you
But why would
that comes off as closed minded in my opinion because
If someone's
what
closed
you're doing
minded,
is
what's the point in
you're
talking to them?
no, but see, no, you're approaching the situation closed-minded by assuming that you can't learn anything new because the other person don't think like you or don't see the way
No,
things the way
no,
you see
no.
it, or just
All
because
they
they
watch
watch
is MSNBC.
MSNBC,
Like,
or
I'm
just
talking about
because they
that's
watch
all they
MSNBC
watch.
don't mean you can't learn from their perspective or have an interesting conversation.
It's a perspective. You can learn from any perspective, whether you agree with it or not.
So you think a person that's been like just propagandized, that nothing they're saying is really original. You've heard everything they're saying before because it's basically repeated talking points that you hear from the left. If
But
you know that
people
that's
make
all they're gonna do, then
people
and that's all they've ever done, You think it's worth
people say that about
Trey,
you
hey,
and
hold on.
SBA though,
Hey,
Trey.
hey, hold on, G. Are we talking about somebody in your family? You just gonna minimize like your grandmother or one of the elders in your family to just because she watches NBC, I know everything she's gonna say, and I can got no respect for her point of view and her perspective on life.
But people do that to you with FBA and Tariq Nasheed. They just say, "Oh, you just repeat what Tariq Nasheed say. You just repeat what Tariq." Like they dismiss what you got to say because of what you're accusing. It's like I'm saying. I don't think either one is a healthy way to like approach conversations. It's both. It's just to me, like I said, it's more of a if it's not closed minded, it's a unwillingness to just like have differences. But like you, in my opinion, you shouldn't have that sort of like wall up just because. You feel what I'm saying?
I got you. And those are two separate things. Like what John said, what I do talk about is their life experiences and stories and stuff like that, because I do definitely value for that. But I do think there are demographics within Black society that's never going to get off the vote blue no matter who. And it's like they only see racism if it comes from the left. And I don't think it's really valuable having conversations with those people that they're not going to change. They're stuck in their ways. And the only thing that's going to happen is they're going to walk around like, oh, my son's a MAGA. No, I'm not MAGA. I don't like
Trey,
Republicans.
so like if you talk about like Black liberation and stuff, and like then where does that leave? Because I imagine that's a large segment of our population that you're speaking on that feel that way.
They're older, bro. We don't. I want them to stay around as long as possible, but I think
so. FBA doesn't need them. The FBA
focus should be the focus should be the youth. Like I'll have these conversations with younger people, but if they're set in their ways and they think it's wisdom, a lot of people think that old means wise. So they ain't trying to hear nothing from nobody young. They think they're there to teach us. So if that's their mentality, a lot of them, then what's the point in even ruffling their feathers? Just let them.
No, because look, the thing is, like, even like me, right? As I've grown older, I find it more valuable. When I was maybe even 10 years ago, I had that same mindset when I would think about like my mom's siblings and older. It's like, why am I talking to these niggas? But at this point, even if I know they stubborn and have their ways of thinking, what I've noticed as of recently is I may say something and years down the line, it resonated in a way where they say, hey, remember when X, Y, and Z? And I'll be like, yeah.
That's how it always works.
And it's like
most niggas think you got to change your mind right there.
Yeah, it's like we be having conversations and it's like even stuff like where we may have had disagreements of how I may have done stuff, how I move, because I don't move the way, say, my mom would say want me to move, or like I'm different than a lot of her siblings. Like they don't drink, they don't do things that I like to do, like, and I just do them how I do them, and it's like kind of looked at like, but then when you prove you can do things your way, and they start saying, this kid's got some sense, and oh well, look at what's it, and then all of a sudden it's just evaluating you different. So it's like you owe it to yourself to establish like to the world like that proof of concept, because once you have that proof of concept, even if they don't agree with you, they're gonna respect you, and I think that's what's key.
I seen that like one time I said one man's freedom fighter is another man's terrorist, and I got kicked under the table. And then the next year I went to that same thing, and then somebody else said that same exact word, and I was like, dang, I heard that before. So I do see how things resonate and eventually come out later. But in this place I was at where we had this family gathering, there was a portrait of Barack Obama. I am very skeptical of Barack Obama. Why am I going to, in front of that portrait, in front of the people that have that portrait, criticize them over dinner? Like, if they're talking politics, why am I going to interject that in there? It just seems like it's not a good time or place.
But you made it seem like you can't have any kind of, like, I mean, like, of course if something comes up, but yeah, no, I guess you shouldn't like go in there like looking to cause conflict.
But they're talking about politics. They're talking about Obama. I got opinions on Obama.
I put like this.
But why am I going to share those opinions there?
I feel you. Look, I don't have to just come out and say, all y'all niggas wrong. But if you ask me a question, I owe you an honest answer. It's how I feel about it.
So I don't contribute to the conversation though. It's not like they ask me directly, but I just like, But
No,
then my
I think
mom
there's
and my
ways.
dad
I
are
think,
looking at me because they know I want to say something.
like I said, I think there's ways that you can contribute. And then there's also ways to where it's like, if you don't really want to go there, it's like, I'll hold that unless somebody asks, because there's no need for me to like, because when you might say something that's going to be polarizing or potentially, rock the boat or whatever. And if you feel like it's one of those moments, not to say you can't say it, but that's
Well,
to
my
me
thing
is
is
the
that
balance. Like,
you can say most things if you understand tact in a conversation. If you just hop off the porch like
Tact, timing.
Obama is a tether terrorist, that ain't gonna work, right? But again, if you start off by questioning logical points of a policy, start pointing out actual researchable contradictions, and you walk your way down to a eventual point, you get there inside a lot different way, where there's actual logic that comes to it, and a person could at least see your train of thought. A lot of times niggas want to go in and just be belligerent inside a conversation and just argue talking point for talking point. And I think that ends up being the issue, is that
Cute.
a lot of people don't end up having like tact in conversation to get to the point of what they want to say. If I'm saying something that's going to ruffle some feathers, whether it's Republican or Democrat, independent, whoever, in my opinion, if my goal is to be heard, I approach it differently than if I'm just shooting the shit with the homies or something like that.
I see what you're saying, but I just don't think I just don't have, I guess, the tact to be able to have these conversations with people who have been stuck in their way for decades and decades. So I don't know if it's even beneficial to try that when I can have conversations like that, places like this, or with other friends who are more receptive. You know what I mean?
Got you. I understand what you mean. I don't really apply that. And me personally, I find a lot of value in discussing things with people I disagree with. So like I seek that out more than I seek out people that I agree with, because it actually challenges my thought, my logic. And like for me, that's what I would, and that's like most of my friends, we disagree with a bunch of shit. Me, Johnny, and Rail sit on the couch 3 hours every Sunday and just disagree with shit. But we all test each other logic, then we have a drink and talk shit afterward. To me, like that's like one of those things in my value system that I appreciate more than like people that we all just already agree with each other. Typically, when I go ahead.
That's a different environment. That's a different environment, though. Like that's why this is kind of like an outlet for me, because I'm able to have discussions more openly with you guys. But certain places aren't. Some topics are off limits in certain scenarios, to where I've learned that it's not worth ruffling the feathers. And then there are places where people are more receptive. So I just try to, instead of upsetting people, or what I'm saying, or get into it, it's just easier just to not. You know what I mean?
Again, I understand what you mean. I think that like I enjoy like a good conversation, but I also imagine that for me, I've always like stood on the side of like being an opposing view, just because like if you grow up Muslim inside predominantly Christian areas, like you're always going to be an outsider. If you grow up not eating pork and you go to the cookout, you're always inside a different, like it's like to me that's a comfort zone, so it doesn't really make a difference.
Sounds like the people you were talking to are already kind of different, going against the grain, because if you're in like a standard Democrat, Republican, Democrat,
but like my people is
type people.
But my people is super Democrat. So I mean, making us like statements against Democrats is whatever.
I do think like Southern Christian households are less open-minded to other ideas. I will agree with that. I will agree with that.
If I see a bunch of black Santas all over the place, and I know like the background of Santa, I'm gonna let them enjoy their Santa. I'm gonna let them enjoy their Thanksgiving. I'm gonna let them enjoy all this. I don't got to tell them about all this stuff, even though I'm participating in something I don't believe with. So I guess maybe that
it could be white Santa.
But if
it's a black Santa, then I'm like, all right. That might be a way to put my foot in the door.
But Trey,
crack it a little bit.
You try to say something important, like that may be cowardly. Maybe I don't know, that's a personal choice, but like it can build resentment though, because like if you just participate in these things you don't necessarily agree with, just to be a part of the family, there has to be some kind of resentment of like, oh, I can't be myself when I go around there. Like I can't do this, especially if you don't agree with a lot of the traditions and stuff anymore. If you can't even have a conversation about why you don't agree or why it may be problematic, I from on my own experience that'll create a resentment there for sure. Almost every time.
I guess it could, but in my mind, it's like it outweighs. You know what I'm saying? The positive interaction and spending a good time and eating all the what they call the food, the low vibrational food.
Low
vibrational.
Low
yeah, all that.
See, I guess that like that's where the difference is. With me and my people, the fun be in the conversation like that.
Yeah, we love to argue.
Shit. Johnny done pulled up to the family functions. It'd be these same exact conversations.
Top 5, whatever.
Yeah, like
I argue with some of your family too.
Oh yeah, you know what I mean? But like if you know my people, niggas, like we could disagree and then go have a laugh right after that shit. It's kind of just something, at least with me, and maybe I have an outlier POV. But to me, I like to believe what I believe and stand on it. And you know what I mean, like being that like at one point in time I was an artist. You have to get used to people judging your shit. Have a podcast where you put out clips on the internet. Guess what? Them people gonna be in the comments telling you dumb. Like it don't really matter to me. Like I'm gonna believe what I believe, stand on, and if somebody comes with a better perspective, I'll consider it and adjust accordingly.
The only thing I would add to that though, Q, is like, yeah, it is brave what you're doing, but it would be you kind of on the fence with a lot of things though. So I
just believe my very specific opinion. So like if you are like if you're a Democrat, then when we drag on Democrats, you probably don't fuck with me. If you're a Republican, when I drag on Republicans, you probably don't fuck. Like I don't really sit like I critique both sides of most things.
I think you're pretty light with the critiques. Like you don't go in on nobody.
Maybe if you date 19-year-olds, I'll go in on you. But my thing,
the way I go on
matter of fact, if anything, FBA, I could easily capitulate with the common theme of a lot of people in the chat. I still just stand on what I personally believe. It's not like this is like a pro Pan African space more than it is a pro FBA space.
I don't know, bro. You barely.
Like but my thing is that if I don't have strong opinions about something, I'm not going to make up strong opinions. Like the whole Pan African FBA thing is not like where I care the most about. So it don't matter to me. Like I can make a joke here or there, but if it doesn't matter, there's not a reason for me to have that strong opinion. So I'm not going to have the same strong opinions as you. But that's because we have different hills that we die on.
I don't know. Like last week, you barely read Fat Boy's super chat because he was reading it with an accent, the African accent.
Oh, you mean because I didn't say tether?
Yeah, so I mean, like that's what I'm saying.
But,
like you don't.
But y'all just wanted me to ban somebody for doing like saying negative shit in the chat. So it's like, which way do you want it? Huh?
You talking about somebody, this man named Adolf or something, talking about a bunch
Adolf?
of
I don't know who Adolf is.
He had some name that
it was niggas or something. It was niggas.
Yeah, come on, that's clearly a troll, bro.
No, but my thing is that in general, I've already like had a conversation about like the same way I don't throw the word coon out. I don't just throw the word tether, and I don't ascribe that to people. I don't do it on either side. It's just something, and we've had a long ass conversation. It's just not inside a way that I usually use. So if I choose to omit a word, I don't think that's a crazy thing. That's not almost reading a comment. It's staying true to what I care to do.
Yeah, I'm not asking you to make up an opinion. I'm just saying like your natural opinions that you have don't shake anything up. They're just like kind of more status quo. I feel like I'm arguing with the 90s and I'm like from the future on this podcast right now.
Like me and you have the same exact opinion about the Democrats that you just said that like mad niggas is embarrassed to say it in front of their family.
I think I'm a little more what do they call it? Like unfiltered with
revolutionary.
what I say. Definitely, that
Okay.
may be a strong word, but I do think I have a lot more like militant perspectives than you
That's a
do.
better word, militant.
In what? Like, are you advocating to kill all Democrats? Like, what is the militant stance that you have against
This gang
Democrats?
kill them all.
I think there's other things to military strategy other than like.
So what is the militant part of your Democrat strategy?
I guess militant would be more of a description of like my perspective on like protecting our own FBA people. To where like I'm very,
All right, but this is my point. Like, if we have like a very similar opinion on Democrats, and you just say that niggas be embarrassed to talk about Democrats, even though I'm weekly going up and talking down about Democrats.
Here's another example. When we talked on the ally conversation, I was like, I don't want no allies. I will start. And you got to prove yourself to be an ally. I think that's a little bit more of a militant perspective than someone who's like kind of more trusting of strangers.
I just like I don't understand. Like that's a straw man to any perspective I would ever have. I've never made a statement about just trusting strangers.
Okay, I can see if I can come up with a better example, but it seemed like you were interested in entertaining people being our allies, whereas I'm like, we all we got, and we.
That sounds like a difference of opinion.
Prove something.
It sounds like a difference of opinion.
I'm more. You don't have no extreme opinions, is what I'm saying. So it's easy. Not saying to come up with one, but your natural opinions are not extreme. So for you to get on camera and say your opinions, which are never extreme, that's not as brave as a person who has extreme opinions, putting on the camera and then speaking on theirs.
Bro, saying that, saying that we shouldn't have allies is not an extreme. What is that shaking up?
Hey, but hold on.
Like nobody's ever going to get fired for saying black people shouldn't have allies. It's not a hard opinion to have.
Hold on. About Tracee Ellis Ross, you just ain't heard it yet.
Hey, hold on. I Trey, I will say this though. I will say this about extremes and being in the middle and actually speaking with nuance. In a world where the extremes get the most noise and motherfuckers speaking headlines and they live in the extremes on both sides of the aisle, I think having a nuanced conversation and actually acknowledging both sides is
the harder part.
Of the bravest thing and the harder conversation to actually say I like the left and I like the right. I think the left and the right has done something wrong. I think that's the braver conversation to have than to just be tribal and get on one side and just stick your head in the ground. I think actually having a nuanced conversation is a little braver
because it's easy to find your tribe when you just say I'm this one thing. I got a big ass group of people. When you critique both sides of it, typically you're an outsider.
So it sounds like you're saying, I know this isn't what you're saying, but it sounds like you're saying that sitting the fence is braver than making a stand on either extreme.
I think saying being by yourself, having your own opinion that is outside of having to adopt a group is way braver than going to a very specific tribe.
I just don't see any opinions that you've had that would have been considered even remotely extreme. So I just think that makes it easier to have his podcast, and I don't really know if that's really brave if you're saying a bunch of stuff that's like on the fence. That's all.
No, I usually don't have like on the fence. I'm sometimes this, sometimes that. But again, I'm still waiting for your militant opinions though. Like if you're going to say brave and say that you have like these crazy opinions, what are they? Because saying that black people shouldn't have like African allies is not this brave thing. Like they don't have any power here. Like these Africans ain't about to like get you out your job. These Africans aren't controlling your paycheck. These Africans aren't like in your family. Like this is an inconsequential like opinion. It doesn't like this isn't extreme. You're not saying we should get rid of by force all these people. Like saying that black people should just do it by themselves with no allies is not an extreme opinion. Like it's just like your own personal opinion. It's not extreme though.
I was about to jump in. You were gonna say something, John?
No, I was gonna say tell them what you want to do to them Boule people.
Oh, no, but I think that
this is your chance to say the extreme. What you want to do to them?
No, but this isn't what I was gonna get at. What I'm saying is that the status quo right now is Pan-Africanism, one big tent, people of color, allyships. The status quo was Democrats. The status quo was Boule and supporting the group. That's the status quo. So I think when you're firmly against a lot of these things that are status quo and you're not really talking about the positives, you're just like, nah, the stuff that we've been doing for generations upon generations, I'm against all that stuff right now. It may not be extreme as far as like saying what I want to do to them, but as far as going against the status quo unapologetically, I think that's braver than echoing the status quo.
Well, not if there's like a whole movement and a big group of people that all
It's
have
not
these
really
exact same.
it's a budding movement. Like we weren't
No, but
talking about
like
you
most of
don't
the
even know
things
the
that you said.
foundational black
No,
American was
but so
until
many of those exact
like a year and a half ago.
so many of those exact same talking points go with black conservatives also.
But it's not the same. Because
Only
I
thing
don't
that's
agree with
different
black
is like
conservatives
the
either.
idea of like Pan-Africanism and FBA, but every other talking point is black conservative. There's a huge, there's a big group of that. Like that, it's
No,
like
black
these aren't
conservative.
like
black
crazy
conservative-
takes. But then you can like
you say
group so
Tim
many of
Scott's
those
a black-
things in with like Farrakhan.
You think Tim Scott's a black conservative, right?
He's a black Republican.
But he's not a black conservative, Q?
Probably is. Like I don't know all his talking points. But
So
go
you
ahead,
don't
keep
know
going.
if Tim Scott,
How
you
about
don't
this?
know
I'm
if
gonna say
Tim
yes.
Scott's a black Republican.
I just said that he was literally a black Republican.
Excuse me.
Like,
I misspoke.
whichever nuance you want to go with, let's just go ahead and go with it.
Okay, another black conservative would be the Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas. He's a
Right.
black conservative.
Okay.
Officer. There's an officer that does a bunch of podcasts.
Okay.
He's a black conservative.
Okay.
Candace Owens
is a black conservative.
A black conservative. So
Okay.
all these are people that are FBA places hold these people in like contempt. Like we have we hate these people. So to say that our talking points are the same as black conservatives, that's not true because
Y'all have a lot of similar talking points though. Like you even use the language. The Democrat plantation is a conservative talking point. Like everything that you say that doesn't come from like the idea of Pan-Africanism versus FBA. A lot of like most of it is something that you can hear black conservatives say. Like, what are your extremes? What are your extreme takes? And then we can walk through them. It's either going to be FBA or black conservative.
All right. Reparations.
That's FBA.
What a black conservatives.
They don't have that one. That's why I said I just separated.
So if that is one of the main pillars of the FBA position, and black conservatives don't agree with that at all, then don't you think it's a little inaccurate to lump us in together?
All right. So I didn't say that FBA was just specifically black conservatives.
But to compare us to black conservatives,
my bad.
When one of our main things we fight for,
like 85% of the talking points are black conservative talking points. So everything that you
major
so just now, you
points.
didn't name reparations when you ran down that list of things that you said was extreme. You didn't at all. But everything that you said that wasn't Pan-Africanism versus FBA was a black conservative talking point.
The list I gave you wasn't a comprehensive list of all.
No, but I'm saying what you did talk about, like you named like 5 things that were all conservative talking points.
I think there,
and that's the point that I'm saying. Like I said, it's either FBA based, so that's like that gives you the tether talk, that gives you the reparations talk, like all of that shit, or a good like the rest of it. A lot of it is black conservative talking points.
What about when it comes to black women's place in today's time and being scrutiny? Is that like an FBA view or
is not? He said FBA is simps for that, right? I'm just trying to make you black men.
I don't got nothing to. We're not allowed to talk about black women, so I'm not talking about black women.
I'm allowed to talk about what I like talking about.
I'm not doing that. I'm trying not to do that shit no more. I think black women got the most potential though.
Do you think they get the most scrutiny?
Over like compared to who, like other women?
Do you think they get too much scrutiny?
Nah, I don't think they get too much scrutiny. But I mean, you asking me about, I really don't. It seems like talking about them at all is like, I guess that answers your question. If I feel like I'm not even allowed to speak on them without getting attacked, then what does that tell you about the level of scrutiny? It's like, I think scrutiny is a no-no. So I'm scared to even scrutinize them.
So
I
Kevin,
don't think they get too much scrutiny.
So Kevin Gates commenting on how a woman who's been with a man for over 20 years, known him since 17 years old, 3 kids, held him down to $1 billion, is criticizing this queen on how she might gaze or look at this nigga in public, like as if like you don't think, like, for example, is that just like not over scrutinizing a black woman?
I don't think that's an indictment on all black women. That's an indictment on Savannah because he showed up to the game with a black woman, right? And she was treating him adoringly. So just because he don't like Savannah doesn't mean that he's.
But I'm saying, so is Savannah being over scrutinized in this case?
I think any woman that looked at him that way would be scrutinized. I don't think he didn't say black women don't look at their men adoringly. He said Savannah doesn't look at him.
Do you think that's too much scrutiny for somebody given 20 plus year of being with a nigga since teenagers,
all the bitches,
3 kids, 4 teams?
Personally, I hope that my wife looks happier than that when she's with me than Savannah does with LeBron. And I think that's all Kevin Gates was saying is that, dang, he got all this money, all his riches, and his girl don't even look happy.
So she be looking mad when she's with him?
Yeah, like how she's.
Let me do a Google search.
You're looking having that resting bitch face a lot of times. I mean, I'm not the first person to say that, but you know, I think
he also said that she looked like Lamar Odom when she first met him.
They also said John Legend's wife has resting bitch face too. So I don't think resting bitch face is exclusive to black women, nor do I think that Savannah being a black woman means we're not allowed to criticize her. But if y'all really forcing this out of me,
like what do we? They
said she got a lot of RBF.
But we gotta criticize her for that, like,
bro. Like, if we think that she don't look pleasant, we're not allowed to say that. I mean, she's a public figure. I mean, this whole thing? We're not.
I'm gonna try and find. I'm just going Google.
I think it's a stupid thing to like even like. I don't even know why Kevin Hart. I mean, not Kevin Hart, but Kevin Gates.
Smelling both of these.
I don't even know why he would even like speak on somebody else's like wife. And then like we don't like just because they don't look. I know a lot of women that don't look happy but be pleased and be everything you want to be. Just because they don't smile, I mean, like,
I guess that's a straight face
or need to be criticized. I just never didn't get it, and like, I think she's.
I'm trying to find like the all the pictures of her looking.
Like, Savannah been around that money. She been rich for a long time. This shit ain't new to her, nigga. She been with that. She been touching that money since day one, nigga. This shit is not new to her. Like, this shit doesn't phase her, nigga. She paid. She do what she want. Like,
that look like 05 LeBron right there.
She look like a comfortable ass woman, in my opinion. She look like somebody who don't gotta try, who don't gotta care, who don't really give a fuck about what nobody think. Like,
she only be looking like that because she be sitting around them peasants. That's why she be looking like that.
I guess I'm trying to figure out when she be looking like that.
That is true, and you know it's nothing but hoes talking about LeBron, and she gotta just sit in the stands and watch these hoes throw their draws at
maybe let me put Savannah James looking mad. Like, maybe that bring it up.
I don't think she looks pleasant in any of those pictures you're showing, bro. She looks like she's forcing the smile. She looks unhappy, bro. In my opinion.
So she's forcing this smile right here. She's forcing this smile.
Oh, that like she was laughing in the other picture. This is like a nice little family picture. You know what I mean? It's like that was like a good picture there in her wedding picture.
What more is she supposed to do? Be like sucking his dick in like
this one look like it's like what's the forced ones? I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to.
Hey, click that one right there, but the one right under that where he kissed on the forehead. No, next row down.
This?
Okay, hold on.
No, he kissed on the forehead.
Oh, this?
That's a good one. She look happy as hell.
So there's a whole thing talking about Ye never smiles, and nobody's like, don't criticize a black man not smiling. But if I say she don't look happy,
Kanye never smiles.
You shouldn't criticize.
They always
Kanye
say Ye never smiles.
You shouldn't be.
I've never heard that at all.
Weird. You never seen them talk about Ye never smiles. You never heard John. You never heard nobody say that.
No, but even if Kanye doesn't smile, they're not criticizing his wife because he's not smiling. Like that's the weird thing. Like you criticizing LeBron James over like,
bro,
but she's smiling. Like the majority of these pictures that you saying, she's smiling. Like, what else would she need to do to look happy?
But Trey, whose
She
business
don't
is
look
that?
happy.
Like, whose business is that?
But I'm asking, what else would she need to do
Bro,
to look happy?
She's a public figure. If I say she don't look happy, like,
you know whose wife don't look happy? Donald Trump's wife. Have you seen?
oh yeah, people say
Melania
that too. People say that too. Are white women over criticized? Yeah, I have heard that, John.
But my thing, why does it matter? Like, I think it's stupid on both sides. Like, why do we care about their relationship?
I mean, nigga, we got eyes, we can see, and usually we can tell a person's.
But we just so inside all those pictures, it seemed like everyone I was clicking, you was like, well, she look happy right there. Oh, it's a forehead. Well,
I never said
like, what else would you want her to do?
I'd be curious to hear then if that, like, so then what should, say, in your opinion, you know, a wife look like in public when it comes to her husband? Like, have you seen like an example of what it should look like? Just a point to say it should be more like this.
I saw a picture of. Oh, do you remember that picture that went viral with what's the finance dude, Dr. Boyce Watkins, and then
wait,
and then
what did you say?
Oh, he couldn't have said that on purpose.
Hold up. Yo, hold on,
Johnny,
what
get
did
your
you
boy,
hear?
man.
Oh, wait, what did I hear? Wait. What? That what, dude?
Do you remember the picture with Boyce Watkins and Willie D, and then Boyce Watkins' wife?
What kind of dude is Boyce?
You talking about the finance guy, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, boy, Trey, you had me tripping, dog. Because I was like, this nigga say that with a
Johnny,
straight
what did you hear?
I was like, boy, you say that with a straight
I
face.
know me and G heard the same thing.
Oh no.
Okay, yeah. I'm glad you cleared that one up. Okay,
bro, the way you said it fast.
Yeah.
Pause.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
You said it didn't sound like you said the finance dude.
Yeah.
It sounded like you said the fine ass dude.
Oh.
That's what it sounded like, and it rolled off the tongue, mad smooth. Pause. I was like, whoa. I was stuttering, bro. I couldn't even catch my.
5G thought it was the same thing. Like it. That's why we all had the exact same reaction. But you cleared it up.
Maybe I enunciate a little better. But the finance dude, Boyce Watkins,
yeah,
he had a picture with Willie D and his wife, and then Boyce Watkins was kind of like barely touching her, but she was kind of all upon Willie D. I think the way his wife was on Willie D is the way, like, that's a look of adoration. You know what I mean? If a female is like really feeling you,
a fan.
Yeah. I think
so. Wives should act like fans for their husbands.
I want my wife to be my biggest fan, and I should be her biggest fan too.
24/7.
Yeah, but what does that look like in public though?
24/7 as a public figure, she can't have a bad day and have a bad attitude, or like
not even have a bad day, but just like, what is that? What, like, I'm supposed to always be at a 10 because you walk in a room?
I want my wife to look at me adoringly, especially when we're in public.
So this is your example?
Like the way she looking at Willie D right now, that's how Savannah need to be looking at LeBron.
So like all them other Savannah pictures wasn't her looking at him like that?
I didn't say she never looked at LeBron that way, but I'm saying the most of the times when you see her just chilling, she got the RBF.
Like when she's at a basketball game looking at the game?
She be having resting bitch face, bro. I don't know what to tell you, bro. That's just
like, so she should be in the stand smiling. Then I don't understand what you're saying.
She should be the loudest cheer in the stand.
Like every picture I just seen, she's like, smiling with her man.
Sometimes it ain't appropriate to smile. Like if the boy, like the other night we were down by 20, she did not need to be in the stand smiling.
Would you want your wife to be the loudest fan in the stands if you was hooping for the Lakers?
Not necessarily. I wouldn't necessarily want to be like the loudest fan, but
drawing attention,
want her to always
like dress crazy, provocative, ass out, titties out, skin out.
I want her to always look at me like she admires me. That's what I want.
Right, but where is the shots of her not looking at LeBron like she admires him, that she's not smiling? Like this is what I'm trying to understand. Maybe it has to be like some version of a montage of pictures of her mean mugging him or something, right? because of everything. All I put in was Savannah James, LeBron James, and it ain't nothing but pictures of them.
Like, bro, I don't know if you can pick a better quote unquote entertainer sports wife than Savannah. Honestly, she holds it down. She's like a model wife for niggas in the entertainment industry. Like, she don't seek like unwanted attention. She ain't out here, like, no disrespect to the chef on that Aisha Curry shit.
She ain't doing
like saying
interviews.
like she not doing none of that. She hold a family.
Podcast.
The kids is going to college. The oldest son is in the league. She holds it down.
No, I give you that she is far from the worst, and some people
she's one of the best.
And some people just have a RBF. Like, some females, it may not. Maybe she is happy. Maybe, you know what I'm saying. But I think me and Kevin Gates looked through the same pictures of her, and then she just don't look that happy, bro. That's all to me.
But wait, I keep asking what picture. So it's like her by herself. When she's just like by herself.
I just typed in Savannah James and clicked pictures, and then the pictures I'm seeing, she don't really seem that happy. That's all I'm saying, bro. Like, don't kill me for my opinion. She just don't seem that happy.
I know. I'm just trying to I'm trying to see the pictures that you're talking about. You said Savannah James pictures.
I see her smiling in some of these pictures.
Like, again, I'm trying to be as fair as possible. Like,
bro, they known each other since they was kids, bro. You talking
like her smiling. Even here, she got the little smirk.
Bro, that's a long ass time.
This is what you just said that you click. Where's the resting bitch face pictures?
I didn't type it. I just clicked the picture thing, but I think we just got different perceptions of what we're saying here. Like,
I know I'm asking, like, when I click on one, at least just tell me, because like all of these, she's smiling. Like, or do you look at her smile as resting bitch face? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, it seemed like she don't be smiling like with her eyes, man. I don't want to get into this because now it's just like, because then it just gets to me picking her apart. But they're like social cues.
God. Okay, all right, I'm chatting.
There's like social cues and facial like micro shit that I can tell when a person seems happy and when they don't seem happy, and she don't seem happy to me. Like, I see. I think if I smile, does it seem like I'm happy?
But that's not how she's smiling at all.
He said,
like, you just
doesn't smile with the eyes. Boy, Trey, you a wild one, boy. That's funny.
I think
that's hilarious.
I think you can even look happy without even smiling. Just it's more in your eyes. And she just don't. She seemed like she like the same way that Michelle Obama. Like this, she not nearly as bad as Michelle Obama, but the same reason how she said that when Obama first got elected president, she didn't like him. It's like, damn, for your own wife to say publicly that she don't like you. That's
like, where's the comparison to Savannah James with that statement?
That's why I said that's an extreme example. Like, it's not nowhere near like that, but she just don't seem like you married to LeBron James, like one of the best athletes of all time. You got this crazy good life and everything, and
you smiling in every picture.
She don't seem that happy to me, bro. Like, I mean,
what is she supposed to like? What would make her seem happy?
That's what I'm saying. Like she's looking up to him, getting the forehead kiss and smiling in every picture. What else could she be doing?
In her eyes, man.
But she need to be like down onto both knees, like
with the cameras too. Yeah,
like in front of every picture. Like, what else does she need to do? She need to be like groping them in every picture.
We can't hear you, G.
She's stunting on bitches is what she's doing. She look rich. She look well dressed. She look well whatever. Like, bro,
I think every nigga want a Savannah James. If you an athlete,
she minding her business and she know the camera's on her and she's letting bitches know this is nothing. Like, it's intentional. Like, she's like, I don't give a fuck about all this. I'm just, I got it.
If you type in adoring wife and look at the way these couples are, they look like genuinely happy type shit, man. Like,
no, I get it. I get it. You want a wife should be a fan and act and be in that fan energy with their husband. I get where you coming from.
Trey, those pictures you looking at, what color are the couples?
They're white. Not all of them. There's some black people in here. I didn't type race. All I did was type adoring wife. But that's just probably due to demographics. That's all. I'm not saying that. No, it had nothing to do with race. There are plenty of adoring.
This how you want her to look at LeBron?
Nigga, these are.
Man, come on.
That white woman look so happy. It's like she couldn't be happier.
You look evil.
I think she look happy. She got the dimple smile.
Oh my god!
She's smiling so hard. You think she up to something? That's how hard she's.
That's how that girl Jodi Arias was still smiling at her boyfriend after she stabbed him 26 times.
My dog Trey.
Man. It's just I think that's
you want a Shutterstock relationship.
Yeah, like do you
Stock
think
photo.
Jada, it's like another example like Jada Pinkett, she don't really be looking at her husband adoringly like that.
I don't think that anybody would compare Savannah James to Jada Pinkett.
That's like I said, Savannah is not extreme at all, but you know, I just
not extreme. Like who's better? Like if she's not the quote unquote like one of the like one of like not if not the standard,
you can't even find a clip of her giving him a side eye.
Like it
no eye roll.
If she's not in the top tier of what she does, then like who is?
I'll say another example of adoringly. Do you remember Jeannie Buss when and that other lady who they were all on LeBron? They looked like they were having the time of their life, and they seen him his whole life.
They look like they were trying to exploit that man.
Nah, yeah, that's the owner. LeBron is working.
Difference.
He's
them
working.
White women get the hey, let me stop.
He got his son drafted. You heard me. He working.
I mean,
he secured the son getting drafted.
Looked like they was trying to exercise some race play.
You know who getting drafted next year?
Yeah, they was role playing. They was laughing so hard.
Yeah, they was trying to exercise some race play. That's all.
Well, I want my wife to
what do you say? That big black baby.
I mean, look, Jeannie Buss getting something out of it. She ain't getting nearly as much out of it as Savannah is.
So that's why she laughing so hard. She trying to.
Man, respectfully, Jeannie Buss been around a lot of niggas for a long time, bro. She been, you know, as the daughter of Jerry Buss playing on the Lakers, like since the 80s. Like respectfully, she been around a lot of niggas, bro.
Prime Magic Johnson before
so a lot of she's had a lot of
matter of fact,
I might a lot of niggas, bro. and in LA, Tinseltown, so you know she fuck with the celebrities too. Like Jeannie Buss, man, she you know.
All right, so
that's
fellas,
crazy what Unc just said, man. That's the problem. That's exactly what I'm trying to get away from. When you said Trey is looking for a woman that adores him, he's looking for validation through his wife's eyes. She validated your ass when she married you. Like what? Like now, so now I can't expect like adoration.
But you do have to read the last part of the sentence too.
Oh, you did, and you did the same with her.
Do you give the same adoration?
I think it's different what a man and women bring. Like, I think your wife is supposed to adore and admire you. I think a man is supposed to. I'm trying to think of the best word for it. I think you're supposed to love your wife,
but not adore her. So Miguel was tripping.
Okay, huh? I got you. No.
Be attracted to her.
I don't know, man. It's
Miguel.
I'm just going by the biblical
you probably don't even play
like,
Kaleidoscope Dream, do you? You just throw that to the side. Don't even let her think about it, Dorn.
I'm not really familiar with the Kaleidoscope game. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what that is.
Knew it.
That's problem number one.
The fuck
Knew
is
it.
that?
They didn't say Kaleidoscope game. They said Kaleidoscope Dream. Yeah.
Oh man, that's a classic.
Kaleidoscope game does sound wild. I'm not gonna lie. But
that sounds like the Freaky Boy Olympics.
Right.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Miguel, isn't he gay?
I have no idea.
Nah, he was with that fine girl.
He was with a baddie for a long time. I don't know if he gay or not.
Her name, but she liked that.
But yeah, so in general, you're saying that men shouldn't adore their wife
and be fans.
No, I'm not saying that because I'm just going biblically. What it's like the woman's supposed to respect her man. That's more important than her loving him, and the man is supposed to love her. That's more important than respect. You know, because that's why they.
What
have
respect got to do with a
smile? Wait, and the Bible said the man should love his wife but not respect her.
I'm just saying when you do your no. Let me clarify this and be exact and precise. When you give your vows, it says, "Do you say that you will honor and obey. When a man gives his vows, he'll say like love and like protect or something like that. So I'm just trying to say that men and women, there's like a natural double standard as far as like what we've looked for.
Is that true for vows?
I don't even know.
Yeah,
I thought both people say love and obey.
I don't know if
Nah,
Trey got
men
Trey
don't
got that
say
off
no
as if like he
obey.
did the vows himself too. Like I don't know
never.
if that's true. And you know, all
Men
vows
don't say
aren't the
nothing about
same.
obey.
All
Trey
vows
sat
aren't the
up there and
same.
told two married niggas what they vows was.
All vows aren't the same.
I never heard men say they pledge to obey their wife. I never heard that shit. I think that's
I thought they both like a lot of times they both say
through
honor,
this
love, and obey.
or was it deaf and this and this and that?
Yeah.
It's like all these stipulations, this and this and this.
It usually it's like honor, love, and obey till death do us part or some shit like that.
Y'all
But
must
all,
have
but, I'm
did
saying,
them,
but they all not the same either. So it's like
y'all,
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe y'all did them unisex, genderless vows from the modern era. I don't know. I'm just going by the old
Y'all
school.
ain't had no traditional vows.
Right. Yeah, I'm trying to find where
unisex vows.
Men.
The ones that intended for.
That don't even make sense, nigga. You stupid.
Pronoun
Unisex
friendly.
vows. You stupid as hell, man.
You know, they had to streamline the process since they opened up the the options.
Okay, yeah, it looked like I guess it is some differences. Men typically vow to love and cherish. It sounds like a door, Trey.
Love and cherish.
That's why I wouldn't commit to a door.
And there, and women often use phrases like "for better," "for worse," "for richer," "for poorer," "for sickness," and in health.
And obey.
But this
We know
thing
it's
didn't say.
We know it's gonna be a
Yeah, for sure.
It gonna be like,
yeah, men don't never vow to obey their wife. That'd be crazy as shit.
but it don't sound like women vow to it either. But maybe some
it is
do.
true. Love, honor, and obey is the exact words. Love, honor. If it feels the same for me, then
Trey gonna write his own vows.
Oh, maybe not because it didn't autofill.
Obey.
It says traditional marriage vows.
Love, honor, obey is just the shit niggas say.
Love, honor, and obey.
You just heard many pastors say that shit so many times. You think it's in the Bible.
Make her get that shit tatted on her.
All right, so nonetheless, let's move on to Tracee Ellis Ross.
LHO.
G, it sounds like you gotta take the let off.
Got the LHO.
LHO on her.
Yo, so I mean, look, I just when it comes to Tracee Ellis Ross, I mean, like if we're being honest, like I think she is she's like a unicorn. She's not the average 52-year-old single woman without kids. She's not. And look, I think, I think ultimately what she said about old men being toxic, whatever, I don't know anything about that. So I was like, I don't know whether that's true. Younger men versus older men are less toxic. I wouldn't know. You know what I'm saying? But if that's her given quote unquote experience that I prefer quote unquote younger for that said reason, I mean, I can see why the old niggas might be mad that they're getting classified as toxic. But as a nigga who don't feel old, I don't know. I don't feel personally attacked or anything by what she said. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, she's definitely like a 52-year-old who I think, if I'm just being like objectively honest, I think a lot of 20-year-old men given a chance to holler at Tracee Ellis is shooting that shot.
They going. 30
Don't you think it's a little
40-year-old?
Yeah.
Oh, no question, 30, 40.
So you don't think it's a bit hypocritical that when men say they like women because, old young women because they're, more attractive and they're more moldable because they don't have like the basically toxic femininity, men get drugged for that. So for her to go up,
she didn't call younger men moldable though,
but
she didn't use those words.
I would say basically she didn't like the behavior of men when they get older. But if men have criticism for women's behavior as they get older, being stuck in their ways or anything like that, then they get accused of trying to groom or get accused of trying to take advantage and accused of all these things. So why can't men say the exact same thing that Tracee Ellis Ross said, which they want them more attractive and they also like them to not be, a lot of these traits.
No,
that,
so men,
But you're putting words in her mouth, though.
what she said was that she has done, say, that type of relationship, and she doesn't like the feeling of like being the possession or the prize or however she said it, however her words were. She gave her reason as to why, when it comes to older versus younger, the older men that she dated, they tend to want to be in like a certain framework of relationship that, given what she's at, it's not what she wants. And if she doesn't want that, say, traditional role where she's like plays a certain position, like she's entitled to not like have that, like be that role. Now,
sound like she want an open relationship, honestly.
it could be, or
I mean,
she don't want to be controlled. Like she want to be like do her own shit when she want to do it, not feel like she got to answer to a nigga, etc. Like she want to keep living her life.
That's what it sounds closer
the
to
way
me.
she want to do it without a nigga feeling like he could tell her what to do or she got to like get permission to do it. I think that's more what it is. She's like, no, like I'm good. I could do what I want to do. Da, 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 da. And I'd rather be with men who can fit into more so what I like to do versus getting with a man and her having to adapt to what he like to do. That's what it sounds like to me.
So if men say that same thing, it seems like they get accused of like basically like predator type, like Marcus Houston.
What the
Like I don't be understanding like how you be making comparisons.
Because we
like all she
men,
said is that like men that's in their 50s present like to her toxic traits that they want her to align with very specific things, and she doesn't want to date
like gay lifestyles. She mentioned that specifically. She said that younger dudes are more receptive to gay lifestyles and stuff like that.
If she's pro LGBT, if she's pro LGBTQ, but my thing would be if she is pro that thing, and older guys don't like it, then it seems like that makes sense for her to do that.
Okay,
so I don't know.
Like maybe she likes a little girl on girl.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like, but to me, I don't think that guys get chastised for saying, "Hey, I don't like women that present this kind of attitude. I'd rather do something different." Nobody cares about that. When men do say things like, "I want to get a girl who doesn't have experience and is moldable," that's where the critique comes in it. Like, she doesn't say any of those things. If she did say that, then I think that there's room for critique for it.
Doesn't have experience. What if a man says that he wants a girl that's less, has a lot less trauma, a lot less drama? I think when you say it like that, that's a little bit different than saying she doesn't have experience. I think you intentionally worded it that way to make.
I didn't intentionally shit. Like the word that people use is mold. So if you want to just take away the word experience, they just say, "I want a younger girl that's moldable."
That's not fits in her ways. Yeah, somebody that's not.
No. Again, the word is moldable
because they're not fits in their ways.
Okay, if you want a younger girl that's moldable, yeah. If she said that, I would say the same thing.
Okay, so so I don't want to hear no more men get criticized for saying that they want younger women because the younger women are typically don't have baggage and they're not fits in their ways. Just like she said, like she likes.
So did you listen to what I just said? You didn't even respond to what I just said. Like you just made a whole different narrative that didn't even. Like what are you doing? You're not responding to what I literally just said. Like you just made up. That's not what I just said.
What you said.
I said that I would critique both of them the same, but then you said I don't want to hear nobody critiquing them again. Like you're not responding. Like it's almost like you're not listening. I didn't say what you was just accusing me of saying. I clearly said the opposite.
I tried to correct what you said before and respond to it as I corrected it, because what you said originally, I feel like that was a mischaracterization that you intentionally set up that way. It's because I'm saying when I'm responding to what I corrected, what you were saying too. What
did you correct?
When you said that men like women because they're unexperienced and moldable. That's
Like these are like verbatim statements that men say, but if we just drop it down to moldable,
Q, I don't agree with just getting women because they're moldable. I don't agree with that. So if I'm going to respond to something, can I please respond to something?
go ahead.
That I agree
just
with?
make sure that you characterize what I say correctly, because that's what you was not doing.
So, do you want me, if we're not talking about men wanting women because they're moldable, if we're not talking about that, we're talking about men wanting women who have less baggage. That can I respond to that? Is it cool if I respond to that?
Yeah, you could, but I never. But I'm saying I never said that statement.
And we just established that. That was me.
All right, so who are you like? What are you like? If I never said it, that was never brought up. What are you responding to?
Respond to me responding to this statement that I'm.
You want me to respond to it?
I'm telling you. If a man says that he wants a woman that has less baggage, not moldable, like you said, I'm specifically saying if
less
he says
baggage,
he
I
wants
wouldn't have a problem with that.
With less baggage, okay. A lot of people I've seen translate that to what you said, which is moldable with no experience. That's what.
So you're saying like when guys just be like, I want a girl that has less baggage. People translate that to saying that they want a woman that's young and moldable. I usually think that most guys, when they say that, they're talking about a woman that doesn't have kids and like a bunch of extra shit inside their 30s. They're not talking like. I guess I'm trying to understand, especially with the root of this conversation being Tracee Ellis Ross saying that she doesn't want toxic men. Where are you like linking these things at? If she said that she didn't want a guy with baggage, I think that's cool. If an older dude says he doesn't want a girl with baggage, that's cool. These are completely different.
Let me ask a question though. Let me ask a question to everybody.
Okay.
Are older men more toxic than younger men?
By Tracee Ellis' standards,
no. Just by your own standards, your own opinion. Do you think the older generation is more toxic than say our generation, or are we just all as equally toxic niggas?
I think they naturally. Okay. I think they naturally are, because I think there's.
What do you mean by toxic?
Yeah, to me, go ahead, Johnny. You can go.
I think because like a lot of the things we
contribute about to get to y'all
to like toxic behavior was normalized in the 80s and the 90s, I believe. And then like a lot of, even we go to Granddaddy and across the railroad tracks to player culture, pimping culture. A lot of that was normalized within the 80s and the 90s, where when we get to our generation, we've had this new
so you're talking about like as close as we can get to objective toxic,
right? Yeah.
So like cheating on women and shit like that.
Right. Yeah, generally.
Okay.
Speaking, yeah, because I mean,
because toxic is so broad that I would go ahead.
She made a generalization saying that generally speaking, the older men are more toxic compared to younger. So I'm asking.
But to me, like that is like I don't really agree with it, only because like if we're not speaking objectively, like some of the objective things, and more so what she's talking about, in my opinion, I think that she's older with more of a younger mindset. So like ideal wise, she relates probably to like 35-year-olds or something like that. People that's little less inside what she's calling toxic sounds like some of the LGBTQ shit, some of the social justice shit, some of the, you know what I mean, things that go with like that whole thing. But the reality is that also, to me, like to the wrong person, like you hear older women talk about how soft men are now and shit like that. Like that, those are toxic men to them. It really depends on value. I think that every group has their own different little toxic shit. And yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't put it on older men if we're just talking about compatibility, because that's what that shit sounds like to me. Like she might be an older liberal woman, and she need either an older liberal nigga or like it's probably more liberal younger dude. So it just works out.
You think her definition of toxic has to do with conservative views?
I think so.
I think mainly because like if you
That's what
talking about like the
she's citing.
traditional idea of shit, that's conservative. Talking about LGBTQ shit, that's conservative. That's liberal. Like everything that I heard kind of is, and even like and to me, like this is the critique of the shit that I did her here. Like she does have like the quote unquote resentments of like not having a kid and shit like that. And I think that like that's the race that when a woman gets inside like them 40, like them late 40s, that they have to really sit and kind of talk to themselves about, where if you was like hyper career driven, and I'm sure she had enough suitors and shit like that, you have to reevaluate if you believe your route was worth it. And it seems like that's what she's doing. And which like that's up in the air. I was just talking to a couple of my wife's friends, and like there's some girls that she know that they got kids in their 30s. There's some girls that she know that don't have kids in their 30s, and they like, I don't want a man, XYZ. And I was having a conversation with them where I'm like that sound good right now, but when you get 45, 46, you're gonna really have to stand on that. And that's his own different little thing. This might be just a fleeting thought that you have right now, where at the time, like you want to enjoy your last little bit. Well, all right, so
and that milk is already spoiled.
No, the point would be that at 45, 46, you can't you really ain't about to put out no babies. Like women get like 30, 38, 30, you know, like you can still squeeze some. But like saying that when you get that age, you pretty much like completely tapped out. Like you're you know what I mean, your kid journey is completely done. And a lot of them decisions is based off where they at right now inside their 30s, where they trying to have that last little Cabo trip. They trying to have that last little, you know what I mean, run around the sun, all-star weekend. And it's like, bro, is this last little bit of a chase worth it? And some of them say, yeah, but you just got to stand on that shit when you're 46, 47. And you might be on a podcast with Michelle Obama saying that, damn, I wish I had a little one.
You think these are good examples though for the younger women though? Because it sounds like she the one toxic, and it sounds like Miss Obama is enabling that shit by co-signing
these good examples for.
Like,
well, I wasn't making a statement about this being a good example.
I know you're not. You were answering G's questions about whether or not the men are toxic or not, and I'm saying she seems like she's the one that's toxic because she's the one that seems like she can't make a relationship work, and then to her own detriment because she said there's some grief associated with it. So I think for Michelle Obama to be up there co-signing it, like we don't need to be encouraging like more behavior like this. Like if you want a man that's more, you want to date a man because he's not embracing all these LGBT stuff and stuff, like that's where you want to stand.
Well, I think that you should but my thing is just date who you align with, you know what I mean, ideologically. If that's what she aligned with, like I don't have to agree with it, but if that's what she want to do, go get somebody that works with you and do that shit. Like I don't think that people should date based on my own personal ideologies. There we go. But yes, I do agree with this. This is something that honestly, as I've gotten older, you learn to kind of like you gotta like actually listen to people and hear, where especially with Black women, and whether you want to go with the whole fibroid shit, and it's a whole bunch of different little things where there is a decent amount of Black women who don't have babies, but it's not off the fact that they don't want to have babies. And the more you have friends, I mean, shit, we all the same age, you realize that even getting pregnant and then going through the term of a pregnancy is not like this guaranteed thing at all. And the older I've gotten, the more you just hear women, oh, damn, like you just couldn't have kids. And that's his own different thing. Or you hear people that's trying for 3 years.
Infertility.
And you be like, oh, damn. Like, and that's that, like, that is a different POV. And that's why I also don't put that smut on like every 45, 46-year-old woman, because there ends up being a bunch of different reasons that are also out of control. But if you make the choice, then I think that that's something you got to live with.
Yeah, I fully agree with all that too. Last thing, like John, something you said, man, I think we got to get past this whole color purple trope where we just think that all these men in this era were doing all this crazy stuff, bro. Because we don't talk about all the paternity fraud, all the beatings that the violence that got initiated towards men when they didn't say, you know what I mean? A lot, all the cheating, like even with the
Bro, we
Sam
was
Cooke
comparing it to
situation.
Trey. I was comparing it to our generation.
But I'm
Like, I
saying,
think
but the
so you
men
think we're
that there
more
were not
toxic?
that. I definitely think the dudes this age are more toxic than because dudes back then, they were more. It wasn't like the free sets era.
You think
Now
we're
we
more
got-
toxic today?
No, I think we're yeah. I think the youth, the kids, the YNs.
All these.
are
What
more-
about like millennials too, like our generation too, like more toxic than the older folks?
I think that we might have got more toxic than the older folks. Yeah, because we have more access to. There's been more sexual access in our. So we didn't have to like do all this begging and stuff. I think you can even tell from the music. It was like baby, I was talking that. To
I think
now
that makes
we
us.
got some
I think
Tyrese,
that's
and now
made
we
us
got.
less toxic though. I think like as far as just being more real and transparent with our communication, we wasn't lying to get the pussy. I think our uncles, our daddies, our granddaddies, they were lying and they were doing more toxic stuff to get the things that they wanted. Where I think it was just a lot more options available.
Yeah, I mean, to me, like you can just look at this inside like a basic statistical thing. One, right now, there's more active fathers than they were inside the past 30 years. Like this is proven, and then black dads by itself are the highest, most active group. Two, you can just look at domestic violence rates. Like you can put two things together, like in which, all right, so previous generations hit their women more, and they left their kids more. I think
I
that
didn't know
yeah,
that
I wouldn't.
I have to look that up. I didn't know the DV was higher in our grandparents' era. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Steve, what's going on, brother?
Yo,
What up,
what's good?
Steve?
What's good? What's good?
Not much, not much.
Hey, I got a question. This
here we
is a funny question. Trey, have you seen Sinners yet?
Hey, no, don't spoil it. We
I
can't
ain't gonna
go
spoil.
there
I ain't
yet.
gonna spoil nothing. I ain't gonna spoil nothing. But Trey, have you seen?
I need to see it, man. I heard it's real good.
Okay, I ain't gonna mention that. Y'all have to. I know he gonna want to come back and do a show after he see it. So I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and see it this
Hey, real
weekend.
quick, shout out to the
happening
shout out to the non-FBA director over there. For everyone that thinks that I hate Africans or non-FBA, I just want to give him a special shout out for, he represented the FBA as well. He said FBA by name in the interviews and everything. So
Who Kugler is an FBA?
No, he's not FBA. At least he's not full FBA.
But he a good tether.
No, he's not.
But what makes you like? I thought that if you have like half FBA, okay, never mind. We ain't even gotta get into it.
Let me stop. This is a joke.
Hey,
I don't think he got any FBA in him at all. I just didn't want to.
Okay.
I just wanted to be sure. That's all.
So I want to just. I do think we have this weird issue of where black people fall into like these stereotypes and tropes on both sides, right? Because like when I heard Trey say like this idea like black women don't get talked about, like literally black women had a whole stereotype created about like the whole welfare queen archetype is a trope of like black women, and then obviously you got the stereotypes that we got about black men. So like this idea that like one or the other is getting it worse than one is kind of like it's always crazy when I hear people having this argument. It's like it's just not based in any reality. Like these tropes have been used against both groups. Like the welfare queen trope, literally Bill Clinton ran on that. Like in his he literally ran on both tropes of black men and black women in his 1992 presidential campaign. So the 92 crime bill come out of the beliefs of,
Black church, and
but that black men were just biologically, violent, and then welfare reform, which was also a Bill Clinton thing, came out of the idea that people believe that black women was abused in the welfare system. So like I just like, and if we gonna talk about these things, like I just find it hard to like have these conversations, but then not include all of this like historical context of where I can obviously point out where like these tropes have been used by everybody, black people included. They popular and they mainstream. So I just don't get how people get up here and say like, yeah, I don't never hear nobody talking bad about the black women. That's all we do since 1776. Like that's just the like reality of it. And like it's almost seemed like it's like a competition. We turn it into a competition of like which one have been talked about the worst. It's like, no, it's not a competition. Black people have been talked about the worst. And the only way we can resolve that is if black people as a collective stop also trying to use these tropes against each other. Because it's a lot of myths around that shit. Like 1% of like black men commit a violent crime. Some crazy shit like that. But you wouldn't know that. Some like, out of wedlock pregnancy for black women, record low. But you wouldn't know that because we all fall into the tropes over and over again. Like,
yeah,
it's like, and you all like, the second thing, this last thing is, it's weird how you frame your politics as not the status quo when literally everything you get up here and say is the status quo. Like if we being real about the reflection of people politics on here, let's be real. Q probably got the most non-status quo politics. The reactionary politics is in line with what the system already. We're a Christian nation. You saying women should have a place is not against the status quo. You saying that gays shouldn't be able to get married is not against the status quo.
Hey, for the listeners, I ain't say none of this, especially not tonight. If you bring this up into this statement, I'm trying to let you finish. I'm gonna let this man finish, but he it's a long list of things that I would like to rebut, but
hold on.
I'll let you go, bro.
Let me know if I'm mischaracterizing your politics.
You already did. You don't went way down the road with a bunch of mischaracterizations. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to catch you, bro. I don't know when to start.
When you spoke about Obama earlier, this is my problem. Your problem with Obama is not that he sold out black people to corporations. That's not your jump off point for which your
How you know that? That's one of my problems with Obama.
You say he did the gay stuff. That's how I know that.
Like, I got a lot of problems with Obama.
No. But one of those problems is significantly more. 50% of black people lost their house because Obama chose to bail out banks.
That was a problem. Killing Gaddafi was a problem too.
But Trey, every time you talk about Obama, your jump off point is he did that gay stuff. That
doesn't mean I don't care about the other stuff though.
Who?
You're trying to make it seem like I don't care about the other stuff. That's not true.
You don't treat it as if it's significant. We don't have to go. We can talk.
Hey fellas,
bro. We can talk about
we'll hash out a little bit more of this on the after show. But
I'm gonna stop.
But and I got half of black people losing their house is a very, very interesting thing to say. I gotta see the article, please. Post it in the chat.
For real,
well, it was during 2008 financial crisis. But
half of black people losing their house is a very extreme number. I'm just saying, if you got some data, let me see it, please.
Come on, when have I ever not had the data?
Yeah, let me see it. Let me see it. That's all.
All right, stay tuned. Back chat. Talk to us.
Unmuted, Mike.
Yeah, you muted, Unc. Unc might have fell asleep on us. Unc, you woke. Are you there?
Wake up, Mr. West.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we get you. We can't hear you no more.
Damn,
yeah, we can't. We can't hear you no more.
You can call when the nephew's gonna help you with the technology.
Trey had to get one in.
Yeah, he did. Quick little jab.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you and see you.
I want to talk about Shannon Sharpe. You know what I'm saying? I want to start with that. He got what he deserved. First, his old ass had no business. With that young girl for one, and then he had a young white girl. Good for him. I hope she extorted for every goddamn thing he needs to get extorted for. You understand what I'm saying?
He ain't commit no crimes, huh?
I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. Let me tell you something. Any that's out here, you're a grown ass person, you out here with a child, you have a childish type mind.
Yeah, she would not no child.
Because if you,
she old enough to work at a strip club and have she got an OnlyFans. She ain't no child with an OnlyFans.
They could have sent her
let me tell you something.
I ain't fucking with no 19-year-old with an OnlyFans. That's low value.
If they're older, if they are young enough to be your child, they are a child. Right now, you be 36 years old. You go out here and have sex with an 18-year-old. Something fucking wrong with you. Mentally, something is wrong with you. What the hell? I understand if you're going back to the biblical times and you're saying, oh, because to be honest with you, you know what I'm saying, there's a lot of stuff that perks to say. Because in today's age, you know what I'm saying, Mary was 13 years old. In today's society, God would go to jail for getting Mary pregnant.
You said Mary was 13 years old?
You gotta go to
when
jail.
She had, God would go to jail. God would be persecuted by everybody.
What scripture is that? What scripture? I need that
How was
chapter
Mary
and
when
verse.
she had Jesus? Mary was 13 years old when she had Jesus. In today's society, God would go to jail.
Age when she was. What if it was immaculate conception? There was no like penetration. Was that still?
If God had impregnated her in today's society, God would be in court for going to jail. I don't care what kind of conception it was or whatever.
Hey, yo, what if she 18 but I don't have sex with her? But I throw money. I throw money on her on the street at the strip club.
Get out of this trade.
Let's get beyond Shannon Sharpe. All right, let's get beyond him. But Trey, you know what I'm saying, Trey. You can't. Trey, you been talking crazy tonight.
Hey, but if she 18 but she in the strip club and I make it rain on her, is that bad too?
Trey.
I hear you. What's good?
Come on now. What I'm saying is, you know better. You know better. You want somebody to look up. You want to know. I'm going to you and your relationship stuff. You want somebody to look up to you. You want somebody to look at you like you a king. You king ding-a-ling out here. If you ever been in a relationship with a woman, long term or whatever, shoot it time. Don't know you no more. She just look at you the same no more. After about 10 years, goddamn, two of y'all goddamn, she walk around, you got this body at the world. But this bitch, get in front of TV. I'm trying to watch the game. She got them shaking like a motherfucker. But you don't want that. It ain't that you don't want it. She bad as hell. But goddamn, you just seen it. You done had that cocoa a lot of times. I mean, but somebody else is gonna be old.
Hey, listen, the parts that we can hear, is hilarious. You keep breaking in and out.
I'm sorry, I'm driving. But what I'm saying is that you done had her for a long time. You done seen her butt naked 1,000 times. But Johnny might look and goddamn, she bad as hell. But you look at bitch, get stuff on the TV. I'm trying to watch TV.
I got you.
And the Ruge probably gone too. The root after that long, the Ruge gone.
Oh, the Ruge? No. The Ruge ain't gone. The Ruge ain't gone nowhere now. The Ruge ain't gone nowhere. She gonna be my old lady. She ain't got no Ruge.
Good call, man.
You said
all right. Hey, we got Fat Boy. Fat Boy, talk to us.
Hey Trey, you too young to know about that Ruge, bro.
You was on here last week. Unc gave us a whole dissertation on the Ruge. Fat Boy, you still there? Yeah, I think Fat Boy done lost.
Yeah. You said something?
I thought I heard it.
I'm still here.
Oh no, we talking about Fat Boy.
That's Fat Boy.
Yeah. All right. So yeah. Nonetheless, fellas. There you go.
There you go. Damn, no drop.
Yeah, my dog logged back out. He got the neon light background. Fat Boy look like he ready to stream. That might be your. We've been fishing for an FBA panelist to come join join and get Trey out of these. What you call them? 4v1s, 3v1s.
Man, we just about to start a
2v1s,
show at the
1v1.
same time block, and we're gonna talk about FBA business without no tethers talking ish. But it's all good. No, I'm just messing with you. Yeah, but I'm saying it'd be a lot of a lot of these times these conversations be like 3-4v1s. At least I don't need nobody to agree with me, but at least have some middle ground. I think that'd be cool.
There you go. All right, talk to us, fat boy.
First of all, before I say what I got to say, we got the disinfected space, man. We got the disinfected space. Q, you being mighty disingenuous, Q. You being damn disingenuous.
Go ahead and say bad faith next. Come on.
Yeah, with the bad faith bullshit.
There you go. There you go.
Set your ass up there. You didn't read my comment, but you letting trans tethers come up here slamming a boochie cat all over in the chat like a bag of ice.
Oh Lord.
Man, I ain't no all Lord shit. Ain't no all Lord shit, man.
Niggas that ask you to block somebody, you block them and they still complain. Nigga be talking on the podcast, clicking the comments, and blocking niggas, and they ain't good enough.
Q, we had the big
all cause I ain't say the word tether.
You reluctantly did it, Q. You reluctantly did. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. Fuck that. Fuck
Can't do right for niggas, bro.
Hold on.
Can't do right for niggas, boy.
We got the top. We got two of them.
Bro, you gonna need to put a mask on. That's a lot of Lysol. This nigga getting high on Lysol over there. But
I'm just saying, Q, you gonna do me like that? You done made the tether so wet. You done brought them folks over here. You done brought them folks over here, and Q, and you the problem, Q, because you held the power. You held the power, Q.
The power to what? Block them to knock them out the chat.
But see,
it's crazy how I did it, and somehow it seemed like I didn't. One nigga made one request, I did it, and somehow niggas is acting like it didn't happen. That's so weird.
All I'm saying is, Q, but if I say something, I get spanked with the mute.
When have you ever been like you be in the chat having fun? Ain't been one time I done hopped in the chat and be like, damn, that's too much, fat boy.
Q, you done talked all night. It's my turn to talk, Q.
Okay, go. My bad. You right.
I got to Keith Lee you. It's my turn to talk, Q.
Got you.
Q. You know what you did last weekend and I'm gonna tell you what's so fucked up about what you did last week, Q.
Mm-hmm.
The tellers don't super chat.
Damn, when you has a tether ever super chat?
So why you reluctant to read FBA super chats? If I go into Tariq or Antoine Daniels or anybody else shit, right? I can say Antoine Daniels' head look like a milk dud. He gonna read it. He don't give a fuck. He gonna read the super chat. He ain't gonna be like, my head looks like something.
Oh man! All right, let me hop in really quickly. Only because it's a couple misrepresentations. One, I'll just walk through. So one, tethers do super chat. Shout out Chica. He done donated multiple times. But that'd be one. Two.
Who?
I read your chat. I just didn't say the word tether, but I don't use the word coon like that. I don't call niggas nothing. And like you can call it whatever you want to call it, but because I don't want to use yo slur, I'm good on that. Next time I say tether, I'm gonna get Trey to read it out for you, brother. That ain't my energy. And it's just is what it. I read the entire thing. The shit wasn't even directed towards me. It wasn't like it mattered.
Exactly. But you be caping, Q. That's it goes to my point. Coffee done came up here. We done been all type of porch monkeys and all type of shit. You ain't put that nigga on punishment for nothing. You ain't put that nigga on punishment yet. But you play slow. Oh man. You play slow when somebody else that did
he never mind. It's not even okay.
Q, I just said you've been talking all night, brother. Q, come on now, man.
I'll let you go. Go ahead. You got it, brother.
Come on, Q. I'm just saying.
Get the grievances off. Come on. Keep going, brother.
Getting real biased around here, Q. I'm just saying, Q. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, fat boy. Hey, you think Q? You agree to Steve that Q has controversial takes? He's got the most extreme takes on the panel.
Huh?
Steve said that Q has the most extreme takes on the panel. He don't be sitting the fence.
It's not extreme.
That's
It's
what
not,
Steve said.
It's not extreme. It's the most non-status quo.
You gotta understand, Steve high blood pressure. Steve be high blood pressure, man.
Like ask yourself, like anytime I bring up the furthest left issue, the closest to the issue is always Q. The furthest from the issue is always Trey on every issue.
When you said last week,
say,
you said hell no, because last week you said that unless we move in black, you said we gotta make our neighborhoods low income or some shit like that.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
See, that would be an example of bad faith right there.
But you can't say Q gonna say whatever make the tellers with.
You know
that ain't controversial. Q gonna say whatever make the tellers with, man.
I think people confuse like being pro black business. I'm gonna be a real estate dude. They think that's radical. That's not radical. Like all of that stuff is normal stuff. I think my woman should be in the kitchen. That's normal. That's normal.
Who say that?
Man, we finna really sit up here and act like Trey don't go over here every week. He just went on a whole 30-minute rant about how his woman don't twinkle. Her eyes don't twinkle right when she look at him. He said she's smiling, but I don't see the twinkle. Where the twinkle at? So first it was like, look. First he said, hold on, time out. First he said she always got an RBF. We pull up 30 pictures of her smiling. He said, but the twinkle, where's the twinkle at? Like what? Like he's like some body language expert. Like he didn't got a PhD in this somewhere where he can just tell when somebody happy based off thousands of pictures that paparazzi take of Savannah James. And then this my thing. If Savannah James is not the standard, right? Well, then, Trey, you didn't consume so much red pill content. It just then fried your receptors on what's like a good person. Because LeBron out here hitting white women, and she ain't said nothing.
Oh, he is? Who? What's her name?
Hey, man, don't you don't want me to, I ain't finna pull it up.
Don't be D'Angelo Russell.
Oh, damn, we ain't getting to the gossip conversation, Trey.
Please don't do that. Don't do that.
We'll say that next week. We'll save it for next week.
Or the on-code part either.
Q, I'm just saying, Q, all I'm saying, man, you know.
I get it. You want me to be biased just specifically for FBA. It's cool.
No. That ain't what I said. I want you to, I want you hold the power, man. You gotta be the same way all the way across the board, man. You can't restrict us.
It's rough. Like you
Q, you can't restrict us and let them have free reign all over this motherfucker, man. You can't do that. They come on now.
But it's just not a fair rep. Like you're not giving any version of fair representation. So I block one person. That's not free reign. I omit one word. I omit one word. No, Trey actually said, "Hey, could you block whoever the person was?" I said, "Where they at? What they? Okay, here, did it. It's my first time blocking anybody, so it took a second to even figure out how to do it. But it wasn't like he had to beg me a bargain or anything.
What is it?
It's too long. It's a person who's a foreigner who tries to undermine us.
Oh, okay. Somebody that don't agree with you.
No. It's somebody that comes from a different continent and says things like Black Americans don't deserve reparations.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering because I done got called a tether before, and I don't know what the hell. I don't know what it is, but I know that
you're not a tether. Yeah, you're not a tether.
Okay.
No.
I appreciate it.
What he just did is what Q be doing. Oh shit. Shit. We got butter knife bandit up here, boy. Camera. What it do? What's up with you, baby?
There you go.
Hey, Camera. Cameron, we gonna get you down here,
Yo.
Cameron, man. We gonna get you a good FBA barber, boy. I'm telling you.
Oh,
man. Boy, they gonna have Cameron.
Nah.
I'm telling you, man. They gonna have your ass. You hear me? I'm telling you, Cameron. We got you. We got you, baby.
Nah, they would never let him over here. He hates white supremacy too much. They only let the black immigrants over here that's trying to like coon.
All right. So nonetheless, Kamu, Kofi, y'all have joined. We are hella overtime. We'll give y'all a quick little second, but we gonna go to the after party really quickly. If there was something that you wanted to add fairly quickly, we'll try and keep it within like a minute and a half ish, and then y'all can add the first words on the after show. Kamu, talk to us.
How's it, fellas? Am I audible? You know, we got
Kwame, I see you back there, but you're not connected. Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, fantastic. Well, when you talk about being on code, bro, I think on the FBA side, they are more focused on foreigners, and you have as much off-code people in the FBA. You have as much off-code people that you have foreigners. I don't know if this is I'm making a coherent sentence right now, but in as much as foreigners are off-code, there is as much FBA people who are off-code.
Same for Nigerians in South Africa, right?
Alone and making it seem. Yeah.
Same for the Nigerians in Africa. There's just as many Nigerians that are off code in South Africa, right?
Yeah,
it's different there.
But Nigerians are not. Look, Nigerians are not in government. I complain about them, but I know they don't have much power that we do over here. You know, instead of me complaining about Nigerians, I complain. No. I'm just voicing out an opinion about them. I'm not complaining. I complain about my own people who are in government doing shit over there. You know what I mean? So just like you guys, I don't know if you're aware of this head of AFRICOM guy who's trying to destroy Ibrahim Traore. He's an FBA guy, and he's given a report to the Parliament in America, in Washington, you know, stating lies that Traore is using country's resources for his own personal gains. Now America has put Traore on task, and they're gonna sooner or later they're gonna attack him, and that's a super cool, and no one is talking about that guy. So yeah, man, that's just
facts, Kamu. Facts.
Yeah. All right. Where's that echo coming from? But yeah, nonetheless, fellas, this it's still are y'all hearing the echo or am I tripping?
Yeah, I don't know where it's coming from.
Yeah, nonetheless, fellas, this it's still are y'all hearing the echo or am I tripping?
Yeah, I don't know where it's coming from.
All right, nonetheless, this has been the To Be Fair show. With that said, like, comment, subscribe. Y'all see the Discord, join the chat. Discord link should be inside the description. Yeah, we out. Peace.